Welcome to Armstrong High School as the two Robbinsdale School District rivals go head tonight on the football field, the Cooper Hawks and the Armstrong Falcons. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, along with Joe Basil, a former longtime assistant coach in the high school ranks, and great rivalry here, and these teams are both a little bit on the upswing. Cooper in particular, 4-0 this year. They had an undefeated regular season last year. They've kind of owned the rivalry lately, but Armstrong feels like they have a shot to stick with them here tonight.
Absolutely. And, you know, Armstrong is on a bit of a roll themselves, won the last two games, so I think we're in store for a nice little battle here tonight.
Cooper last year going all the way to their section final before getting knocked off by St. Louis Park. They have bigger goals down the road. However, they've really been able to preach, you know, going 1-0 each week and getting their kids to buy into that, not be looking ahead, not who do we have in 2 weeks or let's get jacked up for one game but forget about the other. And I think that's been a big part of what's made them a better program these last couple of years.
That's right. And both I happen to know because I've coached so long. I know Willie and Jack, both sides of the ball. Both teams coached very, very well. I'm sure they'll be very prepared for tonight's game.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's contest, and we're going to pick a couple of defensive guys tonight. Obviously, the running backs and receivers get a lot of love, but guys that are hoping to get it done on the defensive side, starting with Cooper, and Justin Madison's been pretty good for them up front.
Justin Madison has 6 tackles for loss in the backfield, and he's contributed to a very, very good Cooper defense, who basically has just given up about 16 points per game, and I'm sure he's looking to give the Armstrong QB, who's very good, some trouble tonight.
And for Armstrong, their defense has struggled a little bit in the early part of the season. They feel like they're getting that part turned around a little bit, and one of their leaders on their defense is Gerald Shepard.
I talked to Coach Nagan earlier in the week about Shepard, and they've kind of morphed him a little bit from a safety, free safety type guy, and brought him down in the box where he's playing inside linebacker right now.
Cooper has a lot of team speed. Armstrong maybe at certain positions a little bit bigger. Interesting to see. I think both teams have shown some big play capability, and you know, it's the grinded out drives that matter, but it's also those real big splash plays, and I think that'll be a big key tonight. Who can kind of contain that a little bit?
Absolutely. The other somewhat commonality between the two teams are the O-line. You talked about the defenders not getting a lot of press, etc. Usually the skill guys. Both O-line. I'm looking forward to watching both O-lines operate. They're both senior or experienced type O-line, so it should be good up front as well.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top here tonight. It's for Robbinsdale District bragging rights and more. Cooper and Armstrong kicking off in a moment on CCX. Welcome back here to Armstrong. Crowd filing in rapidly for this early start today. It's kind of an interesting one. Beautiful, bright sunshine, but it's going to be the coldest night we've had so far this season. And joining us from the sideline and trying to keep warm tonight, Allie Arlt.
Hey guys, Armstrong has been playing hot in their last 2 games, scoring a combined 86 points. I asked Coach Nagan, what's been working so well for you guys offensively? And he said simply 2 things. We have a really good quarterback right now. And also Sean Driscoll, he's been playing incredibly consistent. Now you guys mentioned it in the open. Their defense has been struggling, and tonight they're playing without one of their starting defensive ends, Kevin Hoskins. He got hurt in practice earlier this week, but Coach Nagan says they should be okay on the defensive line, as he has one of 5 guys who can play the position well.
Thanks very much, Allie. And unfortunately, since the last time we saw Cooper, their excellent center, Cedric Williams, went down with a torn ACL, so he is out for the season on the Hawk side of things, and you always hate to see that. There's a look at Willie Howard back across the way, and Willie's all business on game night tonight. He was deferring to his offensive coordinator, Tony Patterson, handling the media aspects tonight. And Willie was all about this game, and he has never lost Armstrong. Granted, it's not a huge sample size, but 4 times that they've played, and they have won all 4 of them. One of them was back in his first year in a playoff game, and then the last 3 regular season games. 2 of the 3 were pretty close games, though, and we're kind of hoping for a fairly close game tonight here, as Alex Martinez will kick it off here for Cooper to begin the game. There is some wind tonight, which I think will have a little bit of an impact on, the passing game and maybe even more so the kicking game.
One thing I like about Cooper, the head man actually runs the special teams. Never hurts to have the head man in charge of special teams.
High kick coming down and fielded on about the 9-yard line, cutting it back through the middle. There is A.J. Stoker for Armstrong, and the Falcons will have the first possession of the game starting on about the 23-yard line. Jake Breitbach, the junior who took over partway through the year last year, and as Ali said, Coach Negan didn't have enough good things to say about Jake. He's really had a great year so far, and he will lead this Armstrong offense. And Sean O'Driscoll, another junior, is the tailback behind him, who popped off about 200 yards a week ago. So 1st and 10 on the 23. Handoff is to O'Driscoll, and not a whole lot working there on the left side.
Cooper opens up with an even defense of your standard 4-3, and as you said, Jay, not a lot of running room inside on that one.
About 2 yards there. Dacian Smith on the tackle for Cooper. So 2nd down and 8 here, and Breitbach this time keeping it, and Breitbach into the Cooper secondary, and he'll be close to a 1st down. It looks like he might have it. Yeah, they're signaling move those chains as he's out to the 34. Give him about 9 on that one, and Breitbach picks up the first down of the game for either team.
Looks like Armstrong is in a go fast mode right now. Got a 1st down, and here we go.
Back to O'Driscoll, and only about a yard pickup that time as Madison in on the stop there for Cooper, as you see the defensive alignment for Coach Howard and crew.
I think one of the things that helped out the quarterback on his run was they had a light box or six folks in the box, and I think it really helped him gain that 1st down.
2nd down and 9. Breitbach running option to the left, and he is wrapped up and brought down. Nice tackle there by Devontae Haywood for Cooper, but a decent gainer as he will pick up 6 on this one. Boy, it looked like he would have, if not for Haywood, he would have had that 1st down, I think.
Absolutely, and he still had his pitch man there if he wanted him.
Third and a long 3 coming up here for the Falcons. Breitbach looking to throw. He has all day now, rolling. Madison pursuing, throws down the middle. It's tipped and almost picked off. Getting both hands on it there was Haywood, Smith. Just couldn't quite bring it in.
As you said, Jay, he did have all day to throw. He extended the play nicely. Almost was a bit of a disaster at the end of it, though, and I'm not sure if they're going to go here on 4th and 3 or not.
Looks like they do have a punter in. The kicking game's been a little bit of an issue for the Falcons this year. Danny Baez coming on back into punt formation. Gets plenty of time and gets this one away with some wind to help it. Taken at the 29 by Pedro Amusu, and here he comes up the left side. Amusu into Armstrong territory and brought down around the 42, 41 yard line. There is a flag down on the play, though, it looks like. Yes, there is, and boy, you see that so often on returns when guys are peeling back, and probably going to be a hold or a block in the back over there, so it looks like this one will be coming back.
A lot of times you do see that block in the back, Jay, and too bad for Cooper, obviously. One thing I did like about it, though, and I love on punt return guys, is catch the ball and go. Sometimes you get return guys that let it bounce, and then you got to make up that yardage. I love the way the young man was aggressive and took it.
And particularly on these 5 o'clock starts, you have to always be a little bit leery of sun issues too.
Absolutely.
And he did a good job not being bothered by that. However, instead of starting near Armstrong's 40, they're going to be back at their own 30 after the penalty. So that one certainly hurts. But Trayshawn McMillan and the Cooper offense coming out, they have been pretty balanced unit this year. They certainly Nasir Borden and their run game is probably the first thing that pops out, but got some good receivers on this team. They can throw the football a little bit too.
Got a trips bunch to the near side here, Jay.
McMillan is going to throw it out that way, and incomplete, looking out there for Amusu, and threw it a little bit too high. It was forward. We may have been behind the line, but it was a forward pass. So.
It was always a good idea, though, if you're on D, to go ahead and finish the play. You never know.
2nd and long now for Cooper. 2nd and 10, as you see their starting offense.
Here they come with trips again to the near side.
Gonna hand it off to Borden. Borden takes a pop. Ooh, they're trying to rip that football out of there, but he will pick up 6 yards or so on that one. Borden, it's interesting. He is not a very big guy, but he's shifty, he's quick, he can hit the hole. You know, so many times in football you kind of see, you know, height and weight a little bit padded, but they don't bother with that with Nas Borden. He's 5'5" and 150.
Yep, and as you said, just very quick, great feet.
3rd down and 4 now. McMillan will hand it off again. Borden is wrapped up and brought down. Nice tackle there by Tyler Peterson, who's been one of the leaders defensively for Armstrong. Peterson kind of tall and lanky, the opposite of Borden there, and he got him up high and just kind of drug him down here. See, meeting him up shoulder to shoulder.
It looked like Cooper was trying to power it up in there with pull the backside guard, and Armstrong was able to stack it up.
Amusu is the kicker, and a fair catch called for and made at just over the 30-31 yard line by Joe Norman. So short punt, but no return, so Armstrong will get the football right back as you kind of go back and forth on that field position game here in this first quarter.
Yeah, a lot of times ordinarily on line drive punts like that, you know, you might see a return, but Cooper did a nice job of getting downfield.
I think it was probably all in all a pretty good decision. It wasn't that long of a kick, and you don't want to hurt yourself with a turnover there in that spot either. Beitbach faked the handoff, and he is wrapped up and dropped. And their first for Cooper was Kellen Antler. And Antler got a little bit of late help, but he pretty much had already made the play there. Shondell Carter joining him, so Breitbach will lose. He might have wished he'd actually handed that one off, I think.
I think so too, Jay. I think if he had that back, he probably would have gave that ball.
Second and long. Breitbach throwing over the middle, and it is complete. Just short of the first down, it looks like, as he hits Nick Barrett.
Sometimes one of the toughest passes to throw for a quarterback is the slant. Many times you'll see it thrown behind the guy, and we put it right on the money.
3rd down and a yard here for Armstrong as they'll look to the bench now.
Seem to be staying in this 2-by-2 balance formation.
Give is to O'Driscoll, and he will have enough for the first down. Nice tackle by Dacian Smith, but not enough to stop him from getting the needed yardage for that first down. A couple-yard pickup.
Move the chains. Sometimes that's what offensive football can be all about, just move the chains.
And especially when you have that big loss on first down, that's kind of an impressive comeback there, hitting the slant and then,
absolutely,
running for the gain. So 1st and 10 Armstrong, back to O'Driscoll trying to slam his way in there, but he is met inside, big lineman for the Hawks, able to stack that one up.
So far Cooper's been very, very stingy on inside zone, big on big blocking, not giving up much in the middle.
They graduated some pretty good D linemen last year, but they said, you know, we got the next wave coming in. Maybe not quite as big, but throw is complete to Barrett. Nice catch as he went to the turf, and he'll get it at the Cooper 44.
That was, and they had a little bit of a power action run. They'll probably come back to that where they run the ball next time, but very nice faking by the quarterback for Armstrong on that one. Put it right in there where only his guy would get it.
Spotted on about the 47. My mistake, gave Armstrong a little extra there. So first down from the Cooper 47. Breitbach will keep it. He tried to drag the ball out, but didn't quite get it. Tackled there by Devontae Haywood.
This is my first time watching Breitbach and heard a lot of great things about him. He's kind of a slippery runner. He's deceiving. He's a bit of a slippery runner.
Yeah, you look at him and you think, well, he's pretty tall and thin, that he might not be that hard to bring down, but it's not always the case. So 2nd and 7, fakes the handoff. Breitbach in trouble now, throwing, and it will be incomplete down the sideline there. That's one that hangs in the air for a while there. You're a little wondering, because he really had to move to escape the pressure here.
He did. Sometimes the best throw the quarterback can make is the one out of bounds, and huddle up and let's go at him again. I think he was trying to hit, I believe it was number 44 in jet motion that time, and then kind of swing him on a little bit of a wheel route, but Cooper covered it well.
3rd down here for Armstrong. Breitbach will take off, makes a move, but he cannot escape Haywood. And down he goes. Very minimal gain, if any, there. About a half yard, perhaps. No, not even that. He'll be right at the line of scrimmage. So 4th down, and Jack Nagan talked to us about how, more than likely we're looking to go for it in these kind of spots, certainly here in Cooper territory, but also because they've had a little trouble with the punt game.
Certainly. They're in the pistol. Now they're moving their, I believe that's O'Driscoll.
Oh, and he is going to kick it. And Breitbach with the punt. Can they catch up to it? Not quite. And it winds up being a 43-yard punt, but a 23 on the net. And Coach Negan did say to watch for this, that Jake is our punter at times, because we want to keep the option and obviously disguise things for the other team.
Not a bad strategy at all to try to put Cooper in a hole, and the ball takes a little bit of a different path, and it would have been great for Armstrong, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, you like that roll at first, but then you hope it would die or maybe roll sideways a little bit for you.
Exactly.
So McMillan and crew out here on 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Hand off left side, and a decent pickup there of about, didn't get quite as much as I first thought. It's only going to be about a yard.
Right. Yeah, so far they've held Nas in check so far. Of course, it's early. Both teams, interestingly enough, love the kind of the RPO concept, it seems like, where the quarterback is working off of a D end, and whether to give it or keep it.
Watch key game! Key game!
McMillan throwing out into the flat, complete to Amusu. First man made the miss and then knocked out of bounds. And Amusu looks like he should have enough for the first down. Yep, out over the 30. It is going to be a first down for the Hawks, their first of the game.
Nice job by the quarterback getting it out of his hands quick. We call that a hot screen, quick screen, and at least momentarily the receivers did a nice job of stock blocking for their guy.
So first down now on the 31-yard line after Amusu able to wiggle his way free to pick up that gainer. Here's McMillan looking to throw down the left side. Good coverage and a fight for the football. Looks like Cooper has it. It's a reception by Adrian Adams. Went up strong to get that ball. Great coverage, but Adams maybe just a little taller, and he was able to haul it in.
When this ball left the Cooper quarterback's hands, Jay, I really thought it had pick written all over it. The Armstrong kid had position, but you know what? The Cooper kid grabbed it.
Adams with that big reception. McMillan's in trouble, and he is dumped. Well, that's what Armstrong needed defensively. Shepard getting there and popping him back to the 47. As you see, the pressure gets there. And a good form tackle by Shepard.
Really nice job of squaring up and trying to cut into that Cooper momentum, if you will, from the pass play.
Well, Shepard, we talked about him being a guy who can make plays for you, and that was big. I mean, take the momentum back a little bit too, but also put him in a 2nd and long. Osseo coming in motion. McMillan's going to throw it back the other way. And get a little screen set up, and let's see, where did he go out of bounds?
Armstrong switched up their defense that time, Jay. They've been going kind of a 4-front. They went to more of a 3-3 stack. Real nice call against that defense. Kind of a throwback screen, if you will, and made some positive yardage.
About a dozen on that gainer there for Borden as he worked his way up that sideline right in front of the Cooper bench. So they're at the 35 now, 3rd down and 7. And we're going to have a timeout requested here by Cooper. Make sure they know what's what.
Hey, let's go!
Well, Armstrong and Cooper both got some great new turf this year, but I'm going to say for an afternoon game, Armstrong, you might want to think about getting a different scoreboard. Cannot read any number on there whatsoever in the sun. Not a thing. It might as well not be on.
It's a little bit like trying to read the Cooper players' numbers a little bit.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. Silver on white on a sunny day is rough.
It's tough. I'm sure that's why they pay us the big bucks, though, right?
Yeah. Try and sort it out. Try and sort it out best we can there. So no, it's good. This rivalry, it's always had its twists and turns throughout the years here, and I think there's a lot of respect right now between these two staffs and everything too. They want to play a good opponent, and yeah, they're close by, and yeah, they're in the same school district, but it doesn't mean you have to be like mortal enemies and that there needs to be, hatred between them and all that thing either.
When I talked to Coach Nagan earlier in the week, we talked quite a little bit about that. Now, obviously, these young men know each other, and so far, a lot of good give and take. Got a good football game here.
Key 3rd down here. McMillan looking to throw, and that pass batted in the air, and it will fall incomplete. As Dante Barnes, I believe it was, got a piece of that one, and so Cooper doesn't get anything out of this. Let's see. Get it from the outside there.
Yeah, that came from, I'm not sure if that was a linebacker that had his hands up. I think it was a linebacker. But great job of getting your hands up. And obviously he's been coached to do that, and it paid dividends.
Well, Armstrong punted in a similar spot on 4th down. I don't think Cooper will do that here, but we'll see. McMillan, they're at the 35, so nothing major hurt even if you don't get this. McMillan fakes it, and then it will take off, and he's got the 1st down. And then the ball comes loose after he was popped.
Ball's on the ground.
Armstrong did not get it. Cooper at the bottom of the pile going to come up with that one. McMillan had his feet taken out from under him at the 25.
And you know what set that play up, Jay? Earlier when they threw the hot screen down here on their end of the field, this time he pump fakes the hot screen and takes off, picks up a really important 1st down.
McMillan, a good-sized quarterback. He played tight end for them last year. High snap, and it caused a little trouble, but he throws and incomplete. As unable to hang on was Cornelius Wooten there. Certainly the snap threw things off because he and Borden then kind of collided a little bit. Still got the ball out, but made Wooten really turn around for it.
They had Wooten lined up as an H-back and ran the other 2 guys in more vertical routes and tried to slip him out in the flat a little bit.
It's one of those plays when you make that call and you say it was there if we just hadn't had the early problem.
It very much was.
And off to Borden. Borden getting through the first wave. Oh, makes a great move there. And then wrapped up at the 10. He left a defender in that 2nd level just grasping for air there. Borden, great example right there why he's been so effective for them right here.
Yeah.
Watch this move.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And that's it. You bottle a kid like that up, for a while, and then he makes his positive yardage.
Back to Borden. No go this time as Shepard arriving there right about the same time as Francis for Armstrong. So they get the stop, short loss actually for Borden on that one.
I'm sure that was a major point of emphasis this week, Jay. with Armstrong's defense, trying to stop the running back for Cooper.
Second down and long here from the 13 now for McMillan and crew. Option to the left. Oh, and McMillan just stumbles on the turf. Sometimes the turf's a little too grippy, maybe, it felt like, and it cost him, and down he goes.
It is, and it almost looked like he faked himself out a bit on that one, but he had his guy out there if he wanted to pitch it.
The good news for Cooper, I guess, there is it doesn't turn into a turnover, and it's not a major loss. They lost a yard or two, but
and a real nice drive here. I'm not sure how long they've had the ball, but they've had it for quite a bit. Now they're going trips to the near side here.
Another third down play, high snap again. McMillan rolling and throwing, complete. Wooten will be knocked out of bounds at the 8.
That's your basic or your standard sprint out flood situation, and he spies Wooten out there open, and Armstrong does a nice job of also using the sideline as an extra defender.
Yeah, it was kind of and we got an injured player down here too. It was kind of some good for both teams there, because Cooper, obviously you get the yardage you want to get, you put yourself in a little better spot, but for Armstrong, I don't want to say you concede that, but at the same time, you forced a 4th and 8, so they're not terribly disappointed in the outcome either. They did a good job of staying at home and really not allowing him a lot of extra space to make any moves there.
Right, exactly. And Armstrong on D, kept the Cooper guys in front of him, and as you said, kind of a minimal gain. Because sometimes a guy will get loose like that on a flood situation. One guy leaks loose, and there you go.
The injury occurred really right in the middle of the field near the end zone, so actually not over right in the play there, and it is Joma Norman who is down for Armstrong. I confess to not really seeing what exactly happened to Joma on that play as we were following the ball a little bit. But
young man looks like he's up and walking on his own power, so that's good.
So a big 4th down play coming up here for Cooper, as they will have it not a goal to go situation. They can get a 1st down inside the 2. So they will have 4th down and 7 to go here. And I don't really think much thought of, thinking of kicking. I don't think either team's kicking game is real dynamic this year. And also it's windy, and also you want to finish this drive. Here's McMillan looking to the left. Now throwing a fade way out there, and it's incomplete. Adams was looking for it, and I don't think he was going to be in bounds even if he had been able to make this catch, but gave him a shot. We saw him win the jump ball on the earlier one.
I actually thought he might be looking at number 7 again. I believe that's Wooten.
Yeah.
Underneath, and I think if they go back and look at that, they may come back to that, because Wooten was running free underneath, but obviously he went with the fade.
And that's a good point, Joe, that throughout a football game, I mean, obviously it's not quite the same as the NFL. We're not as high up and all that, but the coaches up top, they kind of put that in their memory bank, and they suggest things down to, the play callers, and we might see that again.
We might.
Here's Breitbach keeping it, and not a bad gainer to start things out as he gets out over the 10 to about the 12.
Nope, real safe play, keeping the quarterback's hands, and maybe picked up, 4 yards, Jay?
Yeah. We're under a minute to go in this first quarter here, and Armstrong might only run one more play here before the quarter, depending on how this one goes. 2nd down and 6. Breitbach faking the toss, looking downfield, but now he's in trouble, and he is sacked inside the 5. As Madison finishes him off. First guy there was Charles Washington, and boy, that one hurts Armstrong as they'll lose about 6.
Yeah, that really does. They brought 44 in motion, gave him kind of a toss, fake, sweep kind of thing, and
so we have come to the end of the first quarter in tonight's game. It is Cooper nothing, Armstrong nothing. We'll be back here to Armstrong in a moment.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. Allie has an injury update for us.
Yeah, guys, we saw Joe Norman, get hurt on the field. He got escorted off by the trainer. Trainer looked at his right shoulder. They went through some tests, but he's been cleared to come back out, so we'll see him come back out in their next defensive stance.
Thank you, Allie. That's great news, obviously, for Armstrong, and you don't want to see anybody on either of these teams getting injured tonight. So we'll have a third and about 14 for Armstrong here.
This may be one again, Jay, where they kind of play it conservatively and either hand the ball off or Breitbach keeps it.
Breitbach going to throw out of the end zone, and he'll go downfield, and it is intercepted. Grabbed there for the Hawks by Rashawn Keaton. Keaton coming back. Cuts it up, and he is down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. A huge defensive play there, Rashawn Keaton. We thought maybe Armstrong would play it safe. They didn't, and it might burn them.
Yeah, well, they didn't, and Breitbach just overshot the receiver, obviously, and number 2 was right there to gobble it up, and a really, really nice run back after the catch as well.
Keaton was slightly about a yard ahead of Tyler Everson there, and he makes the catch and then turns it back. So Cooper going to try and capitalize and punch this one in. Good discipline there to not commit a penalty on that return too, because so many times we talked about it on the punt, and
exactly
that situation, it's the same deal.
Back in the pistol here for Cooper.
McMillan will hand it off. Borden spinning, and he's in for the touchdown. Borden able to pick his way through. Armstrong trying to claim that the ball was out, but the touchdown's been signaled already at this point, so Borden will get the score for the Hawks.
Right, and just basically big on big blocking, Jay. A little bit of an inside zone, and again, you got your best running back, and he's going to find the end zone.
So Cooper converting on the interception by Keaton. Martinez on to attempt the extra point here for the Falcons. A little bit of a high snap. He gets the kick away, and it is good. So Martinez able to boot it through, and early on in this second quarter, it is Cooper grabbing a 7-0 lead, and the interception setting it up in the return. I mean, Keaton, obviously you want to get all the way to the end zone yourself on that play, but boy, what a big play for their defensive back.
Huge play, and a lot of times, you'll see, the old joke, at least in high school football, a lot of times is the reason that the DBs are playing DBs is because they don't catch very well and they're not receivers. But he did a great job. He grabbed the ball and as if he was a receiver, and then great run after the catch.
And I think we're seeing it become common again to have guys playing both ways, even in the somewhat bigger schools too. If they're clearly the best option, I think a lot of times coaches say, we've got to get them on the field as much as possible.
Exactly. So let's see how Armstrong responds after this after the turnover. See where they go with it.
Martinez on to kick here. 7-0 Cooper here, early second quarter. And a tough one to field as it was kind of between levels there, and then Barrett will bring it back. They were somewhat fortunate because he got a late start getting to that one, and just got it and got what he could.
He sure did. It was a relatively short kick. I actually thought it might hit there was kind of a little dead zone right there. And then he stooped down to get it, and then I'm thinking, well, is his knees going to touch? And then he's stopped right there.
It'll be on the Armstrong 28, so decent field position, all things considered there for the Falcons as Breitbach and company coming back out here. Moved the ball well at times, certainly. Have had a couple of nice completions and give off to O'Driscoll left side, and he is cut down. Amusu going low there to take his feet out from under him.
Maybe the best gain of the night for O'Driscoll, though, Jay. Maybe about a 6-yard gain. Offensive coordinators like 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4.
Give is to O'Driscoll again, sweeping to the right. Brought down by Shondell Carter. And it looks like he might have enough for this first down.
Couple of flags in late, Jay.
This will be a holding call against the Falcons. So O'Driscoll's gainer looked like it was going to be possibly enough for the first down, but wiped that out because of the penalty.
I like the thinking of Armstrong's OC on this, their offensive coordinator. Just, you know what, let's just settle the team down. Let's pound the ground here a little bit, but a holding call like this can certainly stop you.
They'll be back to their 25-yard line now, so 2nd and 13. Breitbach looking right, a pressure coming, and his throw is short. Receiver slipped trying to come back for it anyway as he went for Everson, but it was not going to be complete either way there. You kind of had to throw that ball up and over Madison a little bit. There's a situation where you say it's not a sack or anything close to it, but he got in there enough to bother it.
Right, exactly. And the quarterback really couldn't step into that throw, Jay, for whatever reason, because obviously the young man's got a strong enough arm, but you know, it's the game of inches again, and a little bit short.
3rd and 13. Looking downfield, and Ty Bowman spins and out of bounds. He did catch the ball, but just out of bounds. That's Ty Bowman, probably their best offensive player overall. He's been battling injury, and you see him spin to get his body on this one, but look, they're ruling that his shoulder was right on the sideline there. Probably got a little help from the Cooper bench here too, don't you think?
He got quite a bit of help over there. I love the way I love the footwork of the Armstrong quarterback that time, just to kind of move himself to the left and spot the young man who was open. Almost a real circus catch there.
Bowman had a huge game against Hopkins, but he's been battling a couple different injuries. Bai is on to punt. And a short liner, Amusu tracking it down way back at the 25. Now looking to get some blocks set up. Amusu, flag is down on the play. There comes another one late. And a lot of times when you see that change of direction like that, I don't know for sure that both penalties are for the same thing, but they're going to quick discuss and see if they did. I'm sure it's probably going to be that block in the back situation again.
I think so, Jay. One of the favorites that you alluded to earlier. I believe it's probably going to be that. Got a nice little roll. Armstrong gets a nice little roll out of it.
This one's even bigger. A personal foul, blindside block called against Cooper there. So it'll be a 15-yarder.
And now we're stepping it off, huh?
They'll spot it on the 22-yard line here, so. Now they're discussing things, I think, on this spot. I think they didn't mark it off enough yardage there is what it looks like.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Jay. I thought, is that really as far as they're going?
Yeah,
but
so
it wasn't.
They did go another 5, and I think it just was a miscommunication where one of them marked it off as though it were a hold instead of what we end up seeing called there, the blindside block, personal foul. So Cooper will have it at the 18. McMillan looked left, now throwing back the other way, deep downfield, and it is complete. The race is on, and he is gone. Adams for the touchdown. How do you like that? 82 yards.
I was just about to say that Cooper looks like they're in a what we call a cover two, but man under. And they just ran a straight vertical, and the young man just outruns him, and there you go.
Boy, nice ball from McMillan, too. I mean, he had to wait for it just a touch, but he got it out there where Adams could watch it nestle softly in his hands there, and down the sideline he went there. He did a good job of getting back up to pretty good speed there, too, because they weren't catching him, that's for sure.
No, they weren't.
And the extra point try here fails, so the kick goes wide of the mark. But Cooper leads at 13-0. They have scored 2 touchdowns in a minute 20. You think that you're knocked back by that penalty and it's going to be a problem, but guess not. As he looked left, throws back right, and Adams right there. You see Armstrong, a couple guys slowing down there, kind of almost like they were hoping it would be overthrown or out of bounds or something there. Safety's got to be running hard the whole way to get there. I don't know that he necessarily would have gotten the angle on him, but he didn't really give it a full go. It didn't seem either.
Yeah, that's not really the time to to have a discussion, because you never know. The young man might trip himself up or whatever, and you got to finish and play it all the way through, and then talk it over on the sidelines. I think what he was, again, I'm mind reading here a little bit, Jay, but I think what number 5 was saying is, where's the safety help over the top?
Yeah.
I think that's what that is all about.
And I kind of have the feeling that McMillan looking to his left there might have helped him to freeze the safety a little bit. Here's Stoker on the return. Ooh, and he nearly snuck through there. But ridden down by Cooper's Eric Weeder.
Nice little run back to give them maybe their best field position of them, at least after a kickoff of the night.
Let's go!
So 38-yard line, first down and 10 here for Breitbach and crew. Now a little different situation as they're down by 2 scores. Give is to O'Driscoll, and he is wrapped up after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Let's go down field level again to Allie.
Yeah, guys, tonight is Coaches for Cancer night here at Armstrong, and typically we see pink that's associated with cancer, but all of the teammates are wearing different colored socks in this game, and the different colored socks represent the different types of cancer that they're standing up against.
Breitbach throwing out in the flat for Nathan Pertla, but it is incomplete. Pertla was just spinning around trying to get to that one, and then to add insult to injury, he got banged up a little bit as the defender got there and knocked him down. So 3rd and long coming up here for Armstrong.
Yeah, it looks like he grabbed his in the area of the hamstring, but looks like I think he's got it worked out, Jay.
Yeah, he gave the signal to the bench that I'm good to go here. I can stay up here for now. So 3rd down and 9 for Armstrong. Breitbach, pretty good time initially. Now it breaks down as Madison pursues him. Breitbach tight roping up the sideline and is knocked out at the 41. So he will gain yardage there, but only about 3 and nowhere near the first down.
No, but again, I was looking downfield. Cooper did a really, really good job of coverage there, and the young man got what he could.
Yeah, it's better than a negative play in that spot. Sometimes you live to punt and have to do that. So Buys will come on to punt it here for Armstrong, and Amusu waiting back deep. Low snap, fields it on a hop and just got it out of there. Well, it's a pretty nice kick, although a liner taken at the 16. Amusu cutting his way back, a flag down, here's another one. Amusu coming upfield, but this is going to come back.
I believe it is, Jay.
Might be the same type of thing we saw last time.
I was going to mention something about the snap from Armstrong before. You know, it took a little while to get there. Of course, this was a low snap, and the punter actually did a pretty good job of giving it the short hop and getting it away. Oh, we've had our fair share of blocks in the back.
It's going to be another blindside block, personal foul. And there's when you get the, you know, the flow going one way and coming back the other.
Exactly.
I didn't really see it all that clean, but I'm going to hold my tongue on whether it feels like they're legislating hitting out of football in a lot of ways to me.
Now, does Cooper have Armstrong right where they want him here?
Yeah, it's pretty similar situation. They're back about 5 more yards. They're at the 12 this time. Gonna go to Borden on the sweep to the left. Borden breaks right through a tackle. Borden into Armstrong territory. And finally wrapped up by Stoker way down near the 20-yard line. Really 67 yards on that run.
You know, I was looking for the blocking on that, Jay, and I thought maybe we had a little bit of a counter action, pulling backside lineman, but really they just kind of crashed that whole right side of Armstrong's D line down, and the young man was off to the races. Plus, he broke a tackle or two on the way.
I don't think the D is gonna like watching that film of the tackle he broke way back about 10 yards downfield, because they sure seem to have him, and he just ran through it. Trayshawn McMillan throwing out to the right. Wooten on the catch. Ball comes loose late. Armstrong might have it. Yeah.
It's like the signal.
Stoker comes out of there with it. So they had the completion to Wooten, but then he turns it over.
Cooper goes back to one of their favorite plays, the hot screen. And the young man, yeah, he definitely balls out. Armstrong's all over it.
Hit made by Francis, and then the recovery by Stoker looked like for Armstrong. So they will get it back, and boy, they needed that one as Cooper had really taken the momentum here. Armstrong gets the football back on the 18, the first turnover for Cooper. Breitbach will keep it himself. Madison wraps him up and drags him down around the 25, maybe 26.
Nice little run by Breitbach there. In fact, he wasn't all that far away from maybe squirting into the secondary on that, Jay.
Injured player for Cooper, Shondell Carter.
So we got about 2nd and 2. Again, one of the offensive coordinator's favorite calls to call plays on 2nd and 2, 2nd and short. Yeah, Cooper was definitely driving for a score that would put him in control of this game, weren't they?
Yeah, that was, I mean, that would be almost close to being like a knockout punch here late in the first half.
Absolutely.
O'Driscoll takes the handoff here, cutting it upfield, breaks a tackle. O'Driscoll out over the 40 before he's wrestled down hard there. As finished off by Akeem Mulba there, but nice gainer of about 14, maybe 15 for O'Driscoll.
Now that was your counter play, Jay, where they pulled backside guard and tackle. Also their H-back leading the way. O'Driscoll's a hard runner.
And he's pretty good size too, 6'1", 5'11", 190 they list him at. Gets the handoff again here. O'Driscoll keeps his momentum working forward there before he's brought down.
I like what Armstrong's doing here, Jay. You know, they're not hitting the panic button. They're down 13 zip. Plenty of ball game left, and I like the play calling here.
Back they go to Driscoll. Another big hole to run through. Dragging a tackler with him down to the 37. Gain of 15 more for O'Driscoll there, and boy, they have really started to find some things in the ground game.
Coach Nagan was very high on his O-line earlier in the week when we talked, and he's really got only one senior on the O-line.
Jarrell Smith-Shannon on the tackle there. We've got dragged a couple yards there. We've got a timeout requested here by the defense, actually. Cooper will take their second timeout here. So 13-0 Hawks, although Armstrong putting together an impressive drive here as they keep going back to O'Driscoll, and he's had some big holes to run through here. And sometimes, you know, a team that runs really well like Cooper, sometimes going right at them and trying to be a little physical up the middle is a way to get some things done. And if nothing else, you kind of wear them out and not get them into such pursuit mode.
Exactly, and it's a great way to neutralize team speed when the other team seemingly is a little quicker, a little faster than you are. You isolate a couple guys and just run right at them. They were going to see another dose of the counter, only this time it was going to be to the left. We'll see if they change the play or not. I think they found something here, but Cooper obviously is a good timeout, and I imagine they'll make an adjustment here.
You made a good point too about not panicking when you see. I mean, heck, even the Vikings, you fall behind and you think, oh, we got to throw. The run game is too late now to use that or whatever, and they didn't do it.
Right.
Breitbach will keep it, and he's got some room into the secondary. And brought down around the 22-yard line. Another nice pickup there of about 15 more for Breitbach.
That was a situation, Jay, where they blitzed both backers. Unfortunately, Armstrong, with their run-pass option situation, Breitbach pulled it and ran the correct hole.
O'Driscoll taking the handoff here, and he is spun down hard. Tackle there by Dacian Smith for Cooper after a pickup of about 3.
I would say about 2nd and 7, Jay.
And Armstrong in a good rhythm right now here, coming right back up to the line and looking to kind of keep the attack going and see if they can't get one in. Here's Breitbach pitching late to O'Driscoll, and he makes a nice cut, and he is brought down from behind just shy of the end zone by Carter, who had just gone out with that injury. This was kind of unorthodox when and where he pitched this, but it got done.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, and it shows the athleticism of the young man playing quarterback and also the trust level of O'Driscoll out there.
Carter saved a touchdown there for sure as he brought him down from behind. First down goal to go from the 3 now for Armstrong. Here's O'Driscoll, a handoff touchdown. Boy, they really blocked that one well again. All he had to do was kind of surge forward in behind that line, and when it looked like Cooper had really taken control of this game, Armstrong puts together a great march, and O'Driscoll punches it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, beautiful drive, and as I said earlier, and the other thing I liked about this too is don't make the game any tougher than it is. If it's working, stay with it.
They will go for 2. Breitbach throws it up in the air, knocked away and falls to the ground, and the pass failed there. Again, they've not had tremendous success with their kick game this year, so looking to go for 2 here and watch Breitbach. At this point, he's kind of just throwing it up for grabs and really nothing to lose in that spot.
I think actually, Jay, he was kind of looking for his boy Driscoll again, who they were hoping to leak out kind of in what we call the check down area right over the center, but it was a little bit clogged up in there.
Would have been interesting to see if anybody was downfield or not on that one. Anyway, there's Sean O'Driscoll, who finished off that drive, and sometimes you kind of like to see a guy get rewarded, be the touchdown scorer after he did the bulk of the work on that drive, and obviously with the offensive line giving him more than adequate room on most of those.
Absolutely, and you can if you didn't know about it or didn't know about it before, you can see one of the strengths of the Armstrong club is that O-line. Very nice job.
Kickoff will be handled by Trim Wian, a Norwegian exchange student. Got the green socks on, as Ali talked about the different types of cancer recognized here. Borden taking it at the 8, and he keeps his feet going. Borden breaking free, finally brought down. And it doesn't appear there are any flags on the play either. Boy, Borden, I think it was like Armstrong didn't realize this was not just a run-of-the-mill returner back there. This is their top running back, as he ran right through some more tackles right there.
I can't imagine, Jay, that they either they didn't know he was back there, because I can't imagine that you'd want to kick the ball to Nas Borden. Plenty of places to go other than to him.
Boy, special teams can be such a big part of the game here. Great return gets them in business at the Armstrong 40 now, as Cooper looks to answer that Falcons touchdown. McMillan will hand it off. Borden with the carry, and a nice stop by Shepard. Well, you can see that good form tackle, and Borden will only pick up a couple. You know, more often than not, he's been able to break that first tackle, but not that time. Not that time.
And as I said, they've you know, relatively speaking, they've done a pretty good job of containing Borden so far. He is one dangerous individual with the football.
Second down and 8. McMillan will throw it out on the flat. Wooten cutting it upfield, breaks a tackle, and he will have enough for the first down inside the 30.
Yeah, a little bit of a kind of a different route, a different path, but same kind of a situation with the hot screen. And Wooten does a nice job picking up the first down and moving the chains. Cooper has weapons. Definitely have weapons.
Yeah, they got Amusu and Wooten are a little bit smaller, shifty, and then Adams a little bit longer and leaner and can go up and get it a little bit. They give Borden a break this time, and Sherrod Russell on the carry there. He'll pick up about a yard.
Yep. And 41 in there again for Armstrong. That's Shepard, I believe, right?
41's Peterson.
Peterson.
Yeah.
Okay, Peterson. All right.
A little under 5 to go before halftime here, as Cooper with a 13-6 lead. McMillan looking to the left, throwing, and it is complete. An immediate stop. And Amusu on the catch. And is this going to be a personal foul on the tackle?
I wonder if that's not going to be a kind of a targeting on the defense, maybe, Jay. That flag came in awfully fast.
Going to be a personal foul at targeting.
Yeah, I'd have to see the replay again, obviously, but at game speed, it looked like the young man had him squared up pretty well.
See this one again. Not even close.
Not even. Yeah, it was even below the shoulder. So
terrible call. They're becoming so eager to call those things. It's like they're following the NFL's lead, making football unwatchable. Terrible call. So a great opportunity here for Cooper to capitalize on it. Able to get the handoff away, and not much right there.
Wanting to run inside zone, and again, a stop on Borden. I imagine part of Armstrong's defense is to have a bit of a spy on board in this game. I can't imagine that they wouldn't have somebody doing that.
McMillan looking to throw. Now he'll tuck it up and try and go himself here out to the edge. McMillan, good strong runner there as he gets inside the 5. See where those, yeah, be right about the 5.
Yep. Nice job. 47 nearly got there. And then the other young man came and finished him off. Quarterback's a dangerous dude as well.
McMillan fakes, now throwing, and incomplete. A lot of traffic, but it looked like a pretty well thrown ball, but just couldn't squeeze it here.
Yep.
As
there's that flood action again, Jay.
got 2 guys together there, and Wooten not able to haul it in. Looked like he maybe was anticipating some contact there coming a little bit.
Possibly. The QB definitely likes Wooten, though. They go to Wooten a lot.
So it'll be 4th down and goal to go here for Cooper. Big momentum swing either way here. If Cooper punches it in, they're going to go into halftime feeling pretty good and with a sizable lead. If Armstrong's able to get a stop here, they'll feel like they're very much right in this.
Very pivotal play here. And we'll see if possibly Cooper throws something out here that we haven't seen yet this game. A lot of times an OC will do that just to kind of shake things up a little bit.
It's a little bit far out on the field, I think, to just, hand the ball off to your tailback, even as good as Borden is. And I'm not saying they couldn't make it, but
right.
I think they want to probably have that run pass option for McMillan.
We'll see what kind of formation they come out in here. More of a pistol look, if you will, Jay. Well, we got motion.
McMillan rolling to the right. Now he does throw it back to Borden, and he will walk in. Boy, he just barely caught that ball as that ball was short to him, but able to make the catch and get in.
Yeah, beautiful flow, beautiful misdirection, and as you said, almost a little short, but they got it done. They had flow going one way, and his knee was close.
It was. They'll go kick here now again. Martinez, extra point try is good. So Martinez getting that one through for the Hawks, and it becomes 20-6. And you talked about it, maybe throwing something, a little different wrinkle at him, and I think we saw it there. They wanted to really use Armstrong's aggressiveness against him by getting him flowing right.
Yep, and they did a really nice job of doing that by moving the guy in motion and getting Armstrong's attention going that way, and 24 slips out in the left flat over here.
And we got a pretty good look at it there too, and Borden did a good job of, not only catching a ball short, but like you said, keeping that knee off the ground.
Yeah.
Otherwise he would have been down right there.
Exactly.
I think that's one where as a quarterback you're so overexcited that you kind of just aim it a little bit instead of letting it go.
Yep. And sometimes the toughest guy to hit is that guy that's so wide open too.
We'll go again with a little bit of a short kick, this time fielded on the fly by Stoker, and working his way out just shy of the 35-yard line. So Armstrong, still time to go here, a little under 3 minutes left, and they obviously put together a really nice march last time, but now they're again down by 2 scores.
Right. And I'm seeing 250 and 254, 259, and 2 timeouts, Jay. So yeah, plenty of time for that.
Last time they did it on the ground. Right back, faking the toss, now in some trouble, throwing for Bowman, and it is incomplete. Bowman, who was trying to give it a go with, they thought he might be out for this game for sure, and maybe more with a knee injury, and just kind of was thinking about where he was going to run before he had that one.
Yes, he did. It was there. It definitely was there. If the young man, after he catches it, goes north-south, it's a very, very positive play.
O'Driscoll taking the handoff here, and a nice job on the tackle by Carter. And it will be 3rd and long. Just a couple yards on the play there for Armstrong.
Yep.
Now you don't want to give Cooper the ball back too soon either.
No.
I mean, you kind of go back and forth with the timing issue late in the half.
Right. Cooper does have 1 timeout left.
Right back, rolling to the right, throwing, and Everson has it, and he'll have the first down as he's out over the 45.
Breitbach seemed to look at him and then look downfield and then came back to number 4. So a nice job. Sometimes you don't always get to that 3rd read. So did a good job.
So first down on the 46. Breitbach will keep it, and he has some room out there to the right. Oh, and then he is thrown down hard. Is wrapped up by Jarrell Smith-Shannon.
That's that counter play again, Jay. This time really turned into a quarterback counter. 77 and 78 leading the way here. Would have been kind of nice if we could have got out of bounds, but they're still fine. 1:40 left.
O'Driscoll has a big hole right up the middle, and he is brought down by Malik Wilson, but not until he picks up the first down and plenty more. But a dozen more. Boy, early on, we're just getting, a couple yards here, a couple yards there. But boy, in his last several, I mean, he's had a couple of 15s, a 17, a 12.
Right.
And now Pertola with the grab here down to the 25 or so.
Offensive football a lot of times is, you mentioned it earlier, it's all about flow and rhythm. And Armstrong's got some real nice rhythm going right now. Starting to work this flat over here on the near side. And their backs are catching the ball.
Breitbach will keep it. He got a big block out front. Boy, leading the way there was big Noah Pappas, 6'6", 305. And the defender appeared to be about half his size as he came at him there. And that's a tough situation for the defender there. But
yep, exactly. A little bit of a mismatch there. Coach Nagin told me a lot of schools are looking at 77.
Back to O'Driscoll. Not a real big gain, but it should be enough for the first down.
If they go fast, they won't have to use the timeout here. But
well, I might have spoken too soon about first down here. Oh yeah, there will be. They initially had the down marker switched to 4 and had it marked just short, but another quick look at it said, nope, we've got it.
And have that play ready. Have that play ready when the White Hat starts it, which he did.
Back to O'Driscoll. First guy to hit him down low there was Andler for Cooper. Now the timeout will be taken by Armstrong.
Yeah, exactly. Good timeout, obviously. Still, though, 1:10, 1 timeout left. And what do we got, Jay? About 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they're still in a spot where they, the whole playbook's pretty much there, but they're going to have to be, wary about getting up to the line of scrimmage, especially if you're running between the tackles again.
Yep, exactly. I agree. Pretty much the whole playbook is open to them.
Look at Jack Niggin, the Armstrong coach, and not that we were going to remind him, but he has never beat Cooper yet. Obviously, they've played the last 3 seasons. Hawks have won them all. A couple of years ago here at Armstrong led for pretty much the entire game until Cooper scored in the last minute. Long touchdown pass and went ahead for good. But so 2nd and long here for Armstrong. Breitbach rolling to his right, and no receivers open. He stepped out of bounds. Yeah, that one hurts. They do get the clock stopped, but it's not an incompletion. It's a loss.
Right. He wanted his guy 44 again, that where they made some money earlier a couple plays ago, Jay, but Cooper came up and covered him man to man on that, and at least he didn't try to force it in there.
So now complexion changes a little bit. 3rd down and long here for Armstrong. 3rd and 13. Breitbach throwing, and Bowman with the catch, and he's right about at the stick as he was cut down just as he made the catch. We've got a flag way at the back. It might be roughing the passer.
I think it might be, Jay.
Yep.
The pass protection for Breitbach on that one was very, very good. He had some nice time, and obviously there was a little extracurriculars after he released it, but had some real nice pass pro on that. And the young man gobbles it up, and they're in good shape. They're right at the doorstep here.
So half the distance after the roughing the passer, and Armstrong in business here.
Still with the timeout, Jay. And am I seeing 52 seconds? I'm not sure. The sun is shining pretty good on our scoreboard friend over here. Oh, 58. Okay, 58 seconds. I should just look at the monitor.
Give to O'Driscoll, and a nice job surging up front. Ambler and company getting there for Cooper, and they'll hold him to virtually nothing on that play. 2nd down and goal now for Armstrong, and Breitbach running option to the right, cuts it up, and he is spun. He reaches over, and it's a touchdown. Wow, Breitbach extending that ball out as he was being thrown down, and he will just get it over the goal line.
Yep, got it on the reach, Jay, and sometimes that can be a dangerous move, but right there the young man extends, and yeah, 6 points. Nice job, nice drive again by Armstrong. Nice answer.
So Armstrong able to finish that drive, the help of a roughing the passer penalty as well. They'll go for 2. They go with the toss. Barrett's going to throw it, and it is caught by Everson. Now, that was a little trickery there. It looked like the pass got tipped, but it still gets there.
Right. When I met with Coach Nagan earlier in the week, and he talked about the kicking game, and he said we'll have some 2-point plays ready. That obviously was a nice little wrinkle for him. Barrett
to the back of the end zone, and Cooper wasn't completely fooled, but enough to get him open, and so the 2-point conversion is good, and it is 20-14 Hawks. Armstrong answering back. Boy, it's been kind of cool to see the way both teams responded. You know, Armstrong had the momentum. They got that touchdown. Cooper just answered. Yes. And now we see Armstrong come back the other way and do the same.
Yes. Now, if I'm the special teams coordinator for Armstrong, guess who I'm not going to kick the ball to? I think a nice little ground ball squib, even if the ball goes out of bounds, Jay. Dangerous return guys don't get a shot.
Buys onto a kickoff here this time for the Falcons. And he is going to drive it on the ground, and Amusu juggles it a little and takes it at the 12.
Oh my.
And that time they held the edge a little bit. It looked like for a moment he might really get going.
And you know what? The Armstrong did a nice job of staying in the lanes. The old cliche about staying in your lanes on kickoff. Did a real nice job and corralled the young man at the, about the 31?
You see a lot of times, you know, people practice it and they're either there's nobody returning the ball or they're returning it but not fully, and you know the temptation is that I'm going to funnel in toward where the ball is, but that's you know why they work on that is You got to keep your lane discipline there.
You absolutely do, or bad things happen.
McMillan throwing out to Amusu, gets a block, and the ball comes out. Armstrong has it. Recovered for the Falcons by James Young. Well, looked like a good play to start the drive there for Cooper, but instead, Amusu gives it up.
Cooper comes back to one of their favorite plays, the hot screen again, and the young man looks like he's going to make positive yardage and then coughs it up.
So Armstrong will get the football back here. Only 20 seconds to go. Now, granted, the odds of them getting another scorer aren't that great, but still they made a great play to get the turnover there and take away any chance for Cooper. And the guys in red will maybe go into halftime with a little momentum here, perhaps.
Is Armstrong out of timeouts, Jay?
I don't think so. Here's Breitbach throwing, and is complete. Everson down to the 25.
Nice job by Breitbach. Kind of a little bit of a deeper comeback at about 14 yards.
Boy, that's a pretty ideal play too, because you get good yardage, you get out of bounds immediately. Breitbach, pretty good time. Now he throws deep for Bowman. Oh, and just missed.
Definitely had him, Jay. He was running behind the Cooper defenders. Definitely had him. And again, very good pass pro. Very good pass pro by the Armstrong O-line.
A near miss there for the Falcons. Might be the last play here, depending on how this one takes. 9 seconds.
Yep, they can squeeze 2 more, possibly. Depends on how long he runs around back there.
Well, Breitbach's going to take off and run.
Somebody get ready to take a timeout here.
And Cooper is trying to hold him up, and they will get the timeout. Just barely in, a couple seconds left. Breitbach picking up about 7 there.
Picked his way nicely. Now here's where the kicking game, and Coach Nagin alluded to it, this is where at least you might have a shot at 3 points if you have a respectable kicking game, but I suspect he's probably going to go for it here.
Yeah.
You say, Jay?
I would say that's a very safe bet based on what we've heard and seen. A little bit of a surprising play there, I thought, for Armstrong in that Breitbach. I mean, obviously it's going to eat up a lot of time there, but yeah, I think you're maybe thinking that you get that defense sinking back to cover wide on the receivers, and you might have some space there.
And sometimes when the other team's playing man, they'll turn and run, and as you said, then you can make some positive yardage while they get their backs turned.
3rd and about 3, but the time is the big factor here. Breitbach looking into the end zone, and it's picked off. So strong job defensively there, and Cooper coming up with the stop as Torian Kane will come up with the interception there.
Right. Not a bad strategy though by Armstrong and Breitbach. Sometimes balls get tipped. Strange things can happen down there.
It's Cooper.
So Cooper grabbing a 20-14 lead at halftime. Boy, that second quarter had a lot of twists and turns, and felt like it took twice as long as the first quarter, which was a 0-0 battle at that point. And then you think back to all the big plays that happened in that second quarter, and everything coming back and forth, and we're still very much in close contention here heading into the halftime break with a 6-point game.
And Cooper's turnovers, of course, have turnovers always, not always, but many times come back to haunt you. And a couple of Cooper's turnovers that Armstrong has turned into points and done a really nice job of, again, I like the way Armstrong went to their ground game and we're riding O'Driscoll there, and the quarterback keeps once in a while, and we got a football game.
Let's go down to Allie.
Coach, the tale of the first 2 quarters told completely different stories. What did you see?
Yeah, again, this is a rivalry game, a District 281 game. Like I said at the beginning of the game, they're a well-coached team, and we got to keep on working. They came out second quarter, and they won that quarter.
What do you want to see in the second half out of your team? Obviously, that was a great way to end the first half for you.
Yeah, we got to come out there and play Cooper-style football. They're playing Falcon football, and we just got to keep on doing what we do.
Do you think one of you two will end up spreading it out here in the second, or will this be a shootout?
I think this is going to be, it's about discipline. They're well disciplined, and the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win. And right now we got to make sure that we make the least amount of mistakes.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks very much, Allie, and thanks to Coach Howard as well. Here is his team holding a lead, but a little tenuous here, 20-14 at halftime as we check out.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
You go and step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Especially eventful first quarter, but then the second quarter had all kinds of big stuff going on as we take a look at it here. McMillan dropping to throw, and watch this one. Adrian Adams goes up and takes it away from the D-back. Both guys have an offense ball there. That was a big 31-yard gainer. And then an interception defensively by Rayshawn Keaton for Cooper. And he brings it back all the way inside the 5. He didn't quite get it back all the way, but it does lead to a touchdown for the Hawks as they broke the scoreless tie as Nas Borden getting in from 3 yards out very early in the second quarter, and they made it 7-0. Then watch McMillan going up top to Adams here. Down the sideline, defense a little slow to recover, and Adams will go all the way 82 yards for the touchdown there. It looked like Cooper was really in command then at 13-0, but Armstrong coming back strong. They got the ground game going with O'Driscoll and Breitbach both. Then it's a pitch to O'Driscoll and cuts it back inside the 5. And then he's able to finish that drive off with a 3-yard run. Got Armstrong on the board. They were within 13-6. And then Cooper getting a big kick return. Nas Borden back there spins out of a tackle, and a great return down to around the 40-yard line. And eventually McMillan here keeping the ball alive, gets his way down inside the 5, and then they ended up scoring. Breitbach late in the half spinning and gets over the goal line for the touchdown. Now this one a little out of sequence here as they get the pass back to Borden that was the previous touchdown. And then Armstrong getting the 2-pointer after the Breitbach play. So it is a 20-14 game at halftime. You see some interesting stats. A couple of huge plays for Cooper helping their yardage totals. They're about 100 yards more than Cooper, although Armstrong has had maybe more sustained drives. Let's go down to Allie with Coach Negan.
Coach, kind of quiet offensively to start the game, but you guys started to find a little rhythm there in the second half.
Yeah, it was. You know what? Nerves get going in these big games, and so it took us a little bit to get going. Felt good the second quarter, but, you know, we've got to cut out some of the mistakes, and it took us a little bit.
What did you like that you saw in the first?
I like towards the second half or the second quarter there that the kids started showing some passion. They're not afraid and they're ready to compete, so you always worry about that piece.
You've seen that these guys can start putting up some points. How do you turn this game around and come out the victors in the end?
You know, got to be disciplined again. You know, turnovers were a big part there. We had a couple and we gave a couple away, and so we got to be disciplined, hang on to the ball, and make smart decisions as far as, you know, that mental piece. So.
Do you think this will come down to be a close one?
It's going to be a close one. It always is.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Jack Negan and Willie Howard for talking with us at halftime. 20-14, Cooper our score. We will continue with our coverage of high school football from the Suburban District here on CCX in just a moment.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. The sun going down now. This is a 5 p.m. kickoff. Cooper leading Armstrong 20-14. And Joe, you come into games like this and you kind of build them up, and it's a rivalry game, and you're excited, and you hope that it's going to be a good one. Well, this one, I think, is not only living up to, but exceeding expectations so far. This has been a great back-and-forth game, especially, as we said, that second quarter with plenty of action.
Yeah, it really has turned into, I think, what we wanted it to be, and yeah, we've got a really good football game going here, and expect nothing less than the second half.
Allie tells us from the sideline that Joma Norman, who went out with that injured shoulder, is questionable for the second half. He had to come back out again a little bit after the first time that he was down on the field. So Cooper will get the football first. By's getting set to kick it off. And as Joe said, Borden is probably not the guy you would like to kick it to. Musu, though, is pretty dang dangerous back there as well.
He certainly is. I believe we got a Musu to the near side here, Jay.
Yeah. Byes will put his foot to it, and it will be Tua Musu on the 13-yard line. Out over the 30, and he'll be forced out of bounds there at the 36 or 37-yard line. So pretty good field position by Cooper, as the kick was a bit of a low liner.
Yep. Good starting point for Cooper.
Been interesting for the Hawks. They piled up quite a bit of yardage, but a lot of it was really on 3 plays. The 67-yard run by Borden, the 82-yard pass to Adams, the 31-yarder. Not that they didn't have other good ones, but it's been a little bit of a different way of gaining yards for these two teams. Armstrong's probably had more consistent drives, whereas Cooper's had the bigger plays.
I think, yep, and I believe they're dead even on rushing yards, or fairly,
pretty darn
very close.
Which may be a bit of a surprise. You would think Cooper would have a bigger margin perhaps than they do. So they start on the 37-yard line here, first down. McMillan will hand it off. Borden, and spun through a tackle. Boy, it looked like they have him lined up and then ready to bring him down, and instead he just spun out of it, and he will pick up about 7 or 8.
Really nice job this time by Borden. They're running inside zone, Jay, to the right. A lot of times that the backside, what they call the backside A gap, is open on a play like that, and he found it and went with it and picked up 7 or 8 yards.
McMillan this time keeps it himself. He works his way through a tackle attempt and gets into Falcons territory at about the 48.
One of the adjustments that, and again, I don't have any inside information, but one of the things I think maybe we could look for in the second half is possibly the quarterback for Cooper, Trayshawn McMillan, running the ball maybe a bit more than he did the first half. He's a dangerous individual himself with, when he tucks that ball and goes with it. He and Borden are a great duo back there.
From the 48 of Armstrong, Falcons showing blitz. McMillan looking deep downfield, and it is complete. Wow, nice job to hang on in traffic by Amusu.
Really was, really was. I want to see it on the replay here, but I think they might have gone trips to that side, or certainly twins to that side, and hit the young man right up the seam. And that was Amusu right up the seam, I believe, wasn't it, Jay?
Yeah. Down into that one area of the field that still has a little bit of sunlight there as that ball flashed in. I had to wonder if it was going to be, a difficult ball to track, but obviously not for Pedro right there. McMillan throwing it out to the left. Comes right back to Amusu, right through a tackle attempt, and he's in for the touchdown. Had a good block from Adams out there as well. And Cooper doesn't waste any time finishing this drive off.
No, they sure don't. And as you alluded to earlier, Jay, they're, especially in the passing game, they're kind of a chunk offense, big play offense, and they certainly displayed it there. It was a great block by, difference between a good play and a great play is the wide receiver stock blocking on that play.
Cooper will line up to go for 2 this time. Always getting that little mathematics game going a little bit here. They want to
get it back to 28.
McMillan throwing it up for grabs, and it is caught. The 2-pointer will work out as he's able to find his receiver there, DeKezian Clay. And again, on this, on a 2-point play, there's really no reason not to give that a try there. And
right.
He got up and he kind of nudged Stoker a little bit just at the right time and makes the catch.
Yeah, and it looked like Stoker was in pretty good shape, but the young man just a little bit longer and got it done.
Clay listed at about 6'2". Stoker, they show him at 5'11", so Cooper getting the 2-point conversion. They lead 28-14 here early in this third quarter. They've never trailed. They scored the first 2 touchdowns, and then Armstrong battled back, and they kind of traded at the end of the second quarter. And Amusu, they come right back to him. A lot of times you might think my guy might need a little break after catching that long ball over the middle right before that, but nah, they didn't give him a break. They came right back to him, and he showed he was ready as he broke a tackle. And we said his receiver friend Adams helping him out there too with a great block.
Clay also did a really good job on that extra point, Jay, of what we call high pointing the ball, and big reason why they got the 2 points.
And I think for the folks who have played basketball, they know that the defensive back was just about to jump, and you give them just that little nudge. It's like when their guys are waiting next to each other for a rebound, and you kind of just give him that little bump right as he's jumping, and it gets that defender off balance. I'm sure Stoker, maybe watching the film, is going to say, "See, he pushed me off, coach. That's why I didn't get it."
Yep.
So it's at the 39 for Armstrong. Breitbach and crew will have to try and get an answer going, see if they go right back to the ground game. They do to O'Driscoll, and another pretty good hole. Boy, he was just tripped up. He had some more room to go there, but he just stumbled over as the defender dove at him. And he'll get about 6 yards or 5 yards on the play there, O'Driscoll.
And again, still relatively early in the second half, and no need to panic. Ride that O-line and use O'Driscoll.
Here's Breitbach. This time he is wrapped up and brought down. Nice stop there by Smith as he wrapped him around the waist, and will hold him to about a yard gain right there. Boy, O'Driscoll and Breitbach have carried the load. O'Driscoll now 18 rushes and Breitbach 15. That tells you you're running quite a few plays too. The problem is they're still trailing it. Handoff goes to O'Driscoll, and he will get the first down as he's wrapped up there by Washington, but not quite in time to keep him from getting this first down.
A little bit of a trap play that time, Jay. They faked the jet sweep, got a little misdirection going, and then picked up the trap with O'Driscoll.
Handoff to O'Driscoll again, stepped out of a tackle and then brought down hard there by Carter and company, but another nice gainer. Boy, that O-line is just popping some holes right now.
They really are, and as I said, Coach, actually the head man, Jack Nagan, is the O-line coach for Armstrong. So, and he's got a lot of good guys to work with.
Second and a couple, back to O'Driscoll, and he will have enough for another first down down to about the 38. You see a couple of Cooper guys with penetration there, but they kind of just ran past it.
They did, and again, that's what the RPO game will do for you, and Breitbach making some really good decisions.
Back to O'Driscoll, this time a much shorter gain as he is brought down as Haywood getting most of that contact. Madison a little help as well, so just a couple, but O'Driscoll got a little helmet issue, it looked like there.
Yeah.
Breitbach, I think, was looking to the official, are you going to grant me, an equipment timeout, or do I need to hurry here? Breitbach running option left. Uh-oh, the pitch is on the ground, and it is recovered by the Hawks. Late pitch cost them that time.
Yeah, it looked like that same play that they ran in the first half, Jay, where they made money, and this time the pitch was just a little short. It was at the feet of Driscoll, I believe.
Yeah, Jarrell Smith-Shannon recovering it for Cooper. So big turnover, third turnover by Armstrong. McMillan handing it off to Borden. Borden wrapped up and brought down. Shepard, strong hands to stick with it. And that's one of the few times that Borden was brought down by the first guy to make contact.
Yeah, and that's your power play to the left on that, Jay. They pull the backside guard and had it in pretty good shape, and Shepard makes a real nice ankle tackle there.
Jason Potts there, the offensive coordinator for Armstrong, drawing some things up on the whiteboard there. Second and 13 now. McMillan will go back to Borden. Borden, flag is down. I think it's going to be a hold on that one.
Yeah.
Tyler Peterson turns to the official and says, "Yeah, you saw it, didn't you?" And gives him a thumbs up.
Yeah, I think if you were watching anywhere near that play, I think pretty much everybody saw that one. Quite a bit of fabric being stretched on that one.
Well, that's what makes it tough too when you're blocking. I mean, not to make an excuse, but when the back cuts to the outside, you can't really see where he's going, and then the defender starts to pull away from you, and the temptation is to kind of lock in and hang on.
Sure. Second in a bundle here, Jay.
Yeah, things going backward for Cooper after that early loss and then the penalty. McMillan fakes and then takes it himself, and he is wrapped up and down he goes. Physical stop there for Armstrong as grabbing him around the ankles there initially was Barnes, and then at that point for McMillan, you're probably best off to go down because you're kind of like caught in a little leg trap there and don't want to give too many guys a chance to take a free shot at you here.
Nice job by Armstrong, because Cooper had it virtually went empty that time, and then going to let the quarterback see what he could pick up on a relatively safe play, letting him handle it.
They got 22 yards to go. McMillan dropping to throw deep downfield and incomplete. A couple guys there. Wooten looked like he might have slowed up just a little bit looking for that ball.
A little bit. And similar play as the one before, Jay, when they ran the two verticals, and then they're trying to get the third guy, the number 3 receiver, to the opposite hash, and this time just a little bit overthrown. So nice hold by Armstrong's D.
I think you could make the case that McMillan put that ball where it should be, and that Wooten just didn't run through it.
It did look like he slowed a bit.
Amusu, the punter, got a short, low kick. He does get a nice bounce, though, and really no opportunity for a return. So he'll take it, especially when the snap was a little bit askew there. So the Falcons will get the football back after they make a big, much-needed stop. Of course, high school football games, 12-minute quarters, you're down 2 touchdowns. They needed to make a stop relatively soon there and not allow Cooper to kind of grind that clock, too.
They sure did, and now Armstrong's got real nice field position to work with, and we'll see if they go back to the ground game, at least for a little while here, and because we still got 6 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, I like what you said earlier. I mean, in some ways, you kind of stick with it until Cooper proves they can stop it.
Right.
Here's
exactly.
O'Driscoll on the carry here, and get about 2, maybe 3 on the play.
And this is one of those deals too, Jay, where you pound, and as we saw in the second quarter, once in a while, then O'Driscoll will pop one.
Yeah,
or Breitbach.
That's right. And when your plays that seem kind of ho-hum still get you 3, you're doing okay. Breitbach throwing over the middle, and it is dropped. Bowman unable to bring that one in.
Bowman did a nice job of getting over the linebackers and under the safeties on that. Breitbach puts it, I think, pretty much right on the money, and just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, we do have a flag down on the play. Legal procedure against Armstrong.
Probably declined.
Yeah, I would think so. It is, in fact, declined. So 3rd and 7 coming up here. May have been a formation situation there for Armstrong, perhaps.
One play I've not seen from Armstrong, not sure if they have it in their repertoire or not, Jay, but I've not seen a screen from Armstrong yet this evening.
Breitbach throwing here, and this one is complete. Bowman is hit hard, but he will have enough for the first down as they come right back to him, and Madison made him pay at the end of it, but he will get it. Let's see, they'll spot it at the 48.
I just made the comment about the screen, and I believe that's what we call a jail, because I saw the O-lineman going downfield. I believe they just ran what we call the jailbreak screen.
And I think they were holding because the chains hadn't gotten in position quite yet. So they'll stop that, and Armstrong football, 1st and 10 at Cooper's 48-yard line. They trail 28-14. but again, showing signs of getting a little bit of a march going. O'Driscoll taking it left side, and another big gainer as he'll be down very close to a first down. And he'll give him 9.
Second and short. Offensive coordinator's dream here, Jay.
Gonna go right back to O'Driscoll, and he will have the first down, wrapped up by Malik Wilson, but easily picks up the first down.
Again, I think I made mention of this in the first half. I like the fact that Armstrong is not they're not going away from the game plan of running the football at Cooper.
Breitbach this time looking to throw, and he's going to tuck it and go. And that's going to be a penalty, a block from behind there, it appears, on Pertola.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe one of those ones where I'm not sure the quarterback even needed that block, Jay.
Yeah, definitely a block in the back on Pertola, and I agree. I mean, it's one if you look at the situation again, if you're the blocker here, it's one where you probably don't take this risk.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah, Pertola was heading right out of bounds, Breitbach was heading right out of bounds, and that's unfortunate.
Looked like the right call for sure there, and I admit was a little hard on the officials earlier, and they got that one right. There's no doubt. So Armstrong back to the 44-yard line. O'Driscoll takes it again here.
That's a play. That's a play that worked very well for Armstrong earlier in the game. They used the H-back and also the tackle and backside guard to run counter. That time Cooper did a nice job of stopping it.
Madison made that stop for the Hawks. Here's O'Driscoll taking the handoff. Nice cut, and then crashes into the defender there as they kind of went chest to chest. And good job of holding his ground there by Carter. He was not necessarily a clear winner of the collision, but he got him to the ground, that's obviously the name of the game.
Right, exactly. And it was counter to the left that time. It looked a little bit like the old Redskins counter trade, Jay, on that one to the left.
Boy, and when they built a lead and handed it to John Riggins over and over again, those other teams could never
pretty
stop
much
it.
over, wasn't it?
Breitbach is going to tuck it and reaching for the sticks. Let's see how far they give him. Boy, he'll be close.
He's very close.
He took a pretty good hit there. They were trying to just knock him out of bounds, and he did a good job reaching that ball out. And
it's going to be fourth and very short.
Yeah, just short. But watch him escape, and then right here he takes a pop, but stayed inbounds just enough to lunge forward. Again, didn't quite get the first down, but still a pretty impressive run by your quarterback there.
Very impressive. And the fact that he stuck his nose in there and lurched for that first down. You got to like that if you're a teammate.
4th and a yard. O'Driscoll will pick it up easily there as he is brought down by Jarrell Smith-Shannon. But boy, that is a confidence builder. Not that they need it anymore, but for your O-line, when it's 4th and a yard and you run straight at them and get about 5, you're feeling good.
Exactly. This is right where Armstrong wants to be right now. Kind of in the high red zone, and still plenty of time left.
Breitbach faking it now, rolling right, throws, and he's got his man Bowman inside the 5. He'll be at the 3-yard line and give him a first down, goal to go on a 19-yard gainer as Bowman's had a couple of drops, again coming back off that injury, but gets it done right here.
Yep, Ty Bowman did a great job that time. That was a sprint out, flood route. Breitbach puts it again right on the money.
O'Driscoll is going to be just short of the end zone, inside the 1. And it'll be second down here for Armstrong as they try and punch it in and get back within a score.
The other thing I like, Jay, the other thing I like what Armstrong is doing is they're going fast. They're not playing around here.
And into the end zone is O'Driscoll as he's brought down, but not until after he had crossed the goal line here. And O'Driscoll finishes the drive behind that O-line. They mixed in a very nice completion to Bowman right before that. And O'Driscoll getting Armstrong back on the board with the short touchdown run.
And it looks like here they go with their 2-point play, I think, Jay.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see that exclusively out of them the way it sounded.
Setting up with trips, though. Bunch, actually, kind of a bunch trips formation to the left. I don't think we've seen Armstrong do that this game.
Option the other way. O'Driscoll bobbles it, and it's going to come loose, and Cooper will get the stop. So extra point try, no good.
Still a one-score game, though, Jay, especially given Armstrong's proclivity for going for 2, right? So
Cooper did a pretty good job of not getting, too overloaded to that trip side there, as they had that one well defended. It certainly appeared like even if the pitch had been clean, that they would have had a really tough time getting past the defenders there.
It looked that way too, and I was watching the quarterback's eyes because that's the position I coach, QBs, and to see if he actually looked the pitch into the running back. It almost looked like the running back wasn't quite ready for the pitch, Jay. Kind of hit him in the forearm there a little bit.
And it didn't look like their spacing was maybe quite what they wanted there either.
Right, exactly.
Vise will kick it off here for Armstrong, and Cooper again, a couple of pretty dangerous guys back, Borden and Amusu.
See if they kick it to Amusu's side again, Jay. Oh my.
Gonna go short with it here, but it takes a nice big hop for Cooper. And out near the 40, about the 38-yard line, as fielded by Wooten there. It couldn't ask for a better hop off that turf than that.
No. Pretty good field position for Cooper to start with here.
Not really a true onside kick there, but they were trying to, muck it up and let it drop in between levels there. But so
go ahead, Jay.
They will spot it right at the 40, in fact.
Yeah, at first I wasn't sure if he just missed it or if he was really trying to get that big second hop going on.
So McMillan starting it out, throwing it out to the right, complete to Amusu. Musu still on his feet. Now he gives up ground, and that wasn't the best idea he's had tonight. Musu's had a very good game, but he was going to have a short pickup, and instead he'll lose about 4.
Jay, when that play started, Amusu was in the slot, really had no one on him, and Armstrong really flew to the ball, and then, of course, he helped him out by going backwards. But I was impressed with the way Armstrong ran to the ball that time.
Yeah, even if he just went down, at the farthest point he got to, he would have had about a 3-yard gain. But we got not injury, but helmet issue in the secondary for Armstrong there. They're getting that all fixed up. Looks like Stoker needed a little bit of assistance there. So 2nd down and 14 now for Cooper. Give to Borden, it's knocked loose.
Ball on the ground.
And Borden's gonna have it back. Wow.
Just got it back.
He was trying to avoid the D lineman surging in here. Let's see, I believe it may be on Dacian Francis. Oh no, I'm sorry, the big guy first with Vinicio Lopez. 5'11", 270, and Borden just barely got that one back.
And that was Tyler Peterson in there fighting for it too, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, they almost got it. McMillan dropping the throw. Deep down the middle, it's complete. Amosu into Armstrong territory and out of bounds at the 43. Boy, they've come up with some big plays when they need it. I mean, it was 3rd and a mile right there. And he'll get about 28 on this one.
When that ball left his hand, Jay, I really thought the Armstrong guy, it was a deep crossing pattern by Cooper, and I really thought the Armstrong guy at least might have a shot at tipping it. But beautiful pass. Gets him out of a big hole.
McMillan, Coach Howard calls him a great leader too. They said they were very confident in him taking over as the start of this year. Borden gets through the first tackle attempt. Look at Borden's speed down the sideline, and he is brought down at the 31. That'll be another first down for the Hawks. He gets about a dozen.
He has Nos Borden has a way of extending plays, doesn't he? I mean, he jukes in, jukes out. Really has that kind of water bug style, huh? Jitterbug style.
And then looking at that one again, that wouldn't have been the biggest shock if we'd seen a penalty flag thrown there too. It almost looked like a horse collar tackle there, but they held it up there. So first down from the 31 now for the Hawks. McMillan, quarterback draw, and keeps the legs going as they wrapped him up and stopped at about the 25. And
Cooper again spreading things out and then running a quarterback draw or quarterback zone. They had trips to the right, and they do that to try to empty the box of defenders, so you've got less defenders than guys blocking them, and it certainly worked that time.
Yeah, it seemed like when a lot of teams first went to a lot of the 3 and 4 receiver sets, the feeling was that, well, they're going to throw, but it really spreads the field out and allows your running game to get going too.
Right.
McMillan will get a playoff before the end of the quarter, and this pass is incomplete. A little too high for Borden. We have reached the end of the third quarter, and it is a good one here in this Robbinsdale District battle. Our score, Cooper 28, Armstrong 20. The fourth quarter is on the way next.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Well, as we would expect, a sizable crowd on hand for this one, 28-20, and it's been kind of exciting to see these teams, I guess in particular Cooper, but also Armstrong, have a little bit of resurgence as far as football. There was a stretch there where these teams playing would still be of interest, but it wasn't quite the same when they were both having losing seasons and things. And now obviously you've seen in particular with Cooper really bouncing back and having some good years back to back, and it's not a one-time thing or a two-time thing that they're going to be a good club, and they're trying to go to 5-0 here tonight. Armstrong, I think, has acquitted themselves very well, but looking to get a stop here.
Right.
Third and about 3. McMillan's going to keep it again, and he's met by Peterson and dropped. Let's see where they'll spot this. Going to be short of the first down. He got a little bit of forward gain. Maybe not. Maybe about back to the line was it.
And you know what, Jay, to your point, not coincidentally, I think both programs have high-quality head coaches. Both Coach Nagin and Coach Howard, high-quality guys, character guys, and have done a great job of establishing programs at their respective schools.
So fourth down here, and obviously an easy decision to go for it in this spot, as Cooper, neither team probably has a great kicking game this year. So, oops, we had movement up front as a left tackle.
That's going to add to the fun.
Well, I tell you what though, midpoint of the season here, that's the first time we've seen that on either team tonight, and let's be honest, that's not always the case when you go to a high school football game, and so
it's not
discipline there.
It's not, and actually the game that I did last week on radio, there were a number of those, and that would have been what, the 4th game of the year, and I was surprised. You expected, as you said, maybe early in the season but not in the middle of the season.
So 4th and 8 here for Cooper as McMillan directs his receivers to the spot he wants them. 2 receivers each side. McMillan, the rush coming, looking down the left sideline. Amusu with the catch, and he'll be in for the touchdown. Pedro Amusu hauling it in for the touchdown on a 4th and long play.
Take a look at that. I believe, Jay, it was just pretty much a straight 9 route or fly route. Number 3 was the young man that I think was that was Norman, I believe. A little bit injured. Not to make excuses for him, but nice play.
Martinez's kick is good, and so Cooper extends the lead as a big touchdown early in this 4th quarter. 35-20 now our score in favor of the Hawks.
On a 4th down play too, Jay, huh?
Yeah, that's a killer if you're the D right there. Amusu, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
I think it also underscores the trust that the OC for Cooper has in his QB and his receivers with 4th and 8 or 4th and 9, and just comes out spinning the football.
I think in both of these teams, one thing they can feel good about too is it looks like they've got the ability to run the ball and throw the ball. I mean, let's face it, some teams, there might be a few teams that are really great at one or the other that can get by without that balance, but for the most part, you really would like to develop where you're able to do both things depending on game situation and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah, you're always striving for that balance or close to it.
And a situation where late in the year that you might get some bad weather nights. Cooper found this out last year. Obviously, that snowy night where they lost to St. Louis Park, where throwing the ball was going to be difficult.
Exactly.
We have a flag down on this kick return. Looks like it's going to be a hold against Armstrong. Yep.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. You get into playoff football outdoors in Minnesota. You got to have a run. You got to have that run game. And Cooper with Nas and Trayshawn McMillan. There's 2 guys right there that you can certainly build your run game around.
Talked earlier about the socks for coaches versus cancer. Obviously, Jake Breitbach wearing an undershirt with that message on it as well. So Armstrong's got some work ahead of them. They're down 35-20, and they also have 85 yards to go to the end zone now after that holding penalty on the kickoff. Driscoll carrying it again. Boy, he has been a workhorse here today.
He really has.
Brought down by Javonte King there for Cooper.
Got a bit of an injury, I think, Jay. Young man for Cooper just went down.
Bowman hobbling off here on the Armstrong side as well, and a Cooper player down. Unofficially now 31 carries in the game for O'Driscoll. He's been a busy man.
He has. He's been a real horse for him. I was gonna guess at 25, but he's far exceeded that.
Can't quite make out who the Hawks player is who's down. Working on the left leg, it appears there, and
10:22 to go.
Possibly D tackle or DN, Jay, I think. trying to see the number.
And I think maybe cramp situation for a couple guys too. Not the player who was down. That's Charles Washington.
Yes.
Don't know that's necessarily. Well, it could be with him too. But we saw Armstrong's Bowman hobble off, and it looks like they're working on cramps with him. And then there was another Cooper player too that was in that telltale position with somebody stretching the toes back toward the upper leg.
And it looks like the way Washington is walking, it looks like that classic
the
cramp
straight-legged shuffle there, kind of
right. a gait that you have when you're trying to get rid of cramps.
And as I've talked about in past games, although it hurts like mad, you're at least glad that it's that instead of something more serious.
Exactly.
Fakes the handoff. Right back, keeping it, and he'll trot out of bounds here, and looks like he'll have enough for the first down, I believe.
Yep, looks like he picked it up, Jay.
Breitbach, I think they're not a bad idea to just get out of bounds, stop that clock, but also avoid some punishment there unnecessarily.
You bet.
He wasn't going to really go much farther on that one regardless. O'Driscoll takes the handoff and then cuts it up hard. And he lowered the shoulder and finished that one strong, tackled by King.
There certainly are some plays, Jay, when O'Driscoll looks like he's maybe one player away from just really busting it.
Takes the handoff again here, and he will get out to the first down marker and slightly beyond here to the 38. So move the chains again here.
Again, Armstrong riding Driscoll and riding that O-line.
O'Driscoll takes the handoff again and following the block again and sprawls out to about the 46-yard line. Cooper really being knocked around a little bit here, which doesn't happen that often to them. However, they still have a 2-score lead, and they've been able to keep O'Driscoll from really breaking one, though, like Joe said.
Yes, they have.
And he gets the handoff again, keeps on moving, and they tried to rip the ball free, and he's down at the 44 of Cooper, so he will pick up another 10.
The O-line again, just doing a really fine job, and O'Driscoll, very, very tough runner.
Breitbach fakes the handoff. Now he's going to flip it out. Pertola has it. Pertola dragged out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That'll be about another 17 for the Falcons.
Great call. This is one of those situations where really, really hard, because Breitbach, of course, can tuck it and run, and then he just pops the little pass to Pergola, and there you go.
Back to O'Driscoll on the ground, and another nice gainer as he's down to about the 22, maybe 21-yard line.
Armstrong going fast, not taking up a ton of time.
2nd down and 4. O'Driscoll this time stacked up after a minimal gain there, only about a yard.
So about 3rd and 3, I think, Jay.
Yeah, Armstrong obviously using some time by running the ball, but then they're getting back up to the line quick, and I think he might have been offside there, just a bit offside.
I think so, and that's an easy way to get a first down.
So it is enough, obviously, with the 5-yard mark off for a first down here for Armstrong. And
we may see that again too. That's what's called a freeze play, where you're going, always on the same count, and then you freeze them and go on a different count, and here comes the D tackles.
First and 10 from the 15. O'Driscoll takes the handoff here, and O'Driscoll, ball coming out at the end, it appears, but it seems as though they may be marking it already down. No real signal as of yet, but it appears Armstrong still got it. Oh, they don't. I spoke too soon. The Hawks will come away with it. That's why there was no signal, because they were still determining who had it. They ruled that it was down. Madison comes up with the fumble recovery. Wow. Really hard to tell when it came out here. O'Driscoll fighting forward. You see they're ripping at it. Yeah, he did lose it. That's a good call. He was not stopped or down quite yet. And then it's a wrestling match, and it's Justin Madison winding up with the stop.
It almost looked like when Driscoll lost it, another teammate in a red jersey was on it, but then, as you said, you get into the scrum and untold things happen under there.
Yeah, well, and all that really matters, if nobody can tell right away who has it, then the fight's on. I mean, the wrestling match for the ball, and Madison making the recovery, and a big one it is for Cooper. Borden heading left here as he is knocked out of bounds, but a nice gainer there. And we've given a lot of praise to Armstrong's O-line, but Cooper's pretty good too, especially when you mentioned that when the game started that they lost Cedric Williams, their center, and quite possibly best lineman, or certainly one of them.
Right.
And but they've made a good adjustment, and it looks like a penalty flag here against the Hawks. Got a personal foul, face mask against the offense. Wow. Not something you see terribly often, but. And I wonder if it was on the ball carrier or somebody blocking there.
I'm thinking maybe Jay, it was a wide receiver or slot back, stock blocking, hands to the face kind of thing.
So Cooper got the big fumble recovery. The bad news, though, is they're pinned back pretty deep, especially after this penalty. You have to be careful with the football in this spot. McMillan throwing it out into the flat, and it's a Musu out over the 15. He's hemmed in, and that's a nice safe play to get yourself a little yardage. You might break it a little bit, but even if you don't.
Really kind of amounts to just kind of a long handoff, Jay. And as you said, safe play, get it into the hands of a Musu, who's done a real nice job, and good receiver, good runner after the catch, and keeps the clock running, which is what they want to do here.
Yeah, we're not too early in the game to be thinking about that kind of thing, too. I mean, obviously, if you can burn another 30 seconds after a play rather than going out of bounds, you want to really do it. Oh, McMillan drops the snap, and then a scramble for it. And it's going to be Borden picking it up. But a miscue for Cooper there. They don't lose the ball, but you see the snap is low, and then McMillan and Borden scooped it up right out of McMillan's hands basically there, but by that time, of course, Armstrong's defensive players were there too.
Yeah. Fortunate to retain possession there, and what do we got, we got 3rd and 6.
Yeah, they were really in pretty good spot after that completion to Omusu, second and a couple, but now it's a little bit different situation. We're down near the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Cooper up 35-20. McMillan fakes the handoff, now throwing it complete to Wooten, and he will have the first down.
Huge first down.
Barnes making the stop, but cannot keep him from getting the first down. Wooten's 4th catch of the night.
Nice job that I didn't get the number on that, but a nice job by the wide out, the ex-receiver, stock blocking across and allowing him to pick up that first down.
That's a huge first down for field position and time-wise for Cooper. McMillan fakes the handoff, gets past the first wave, and keeps on steaming up the sideline. He's feeling good right now. plowing through tacklers.
Really, after the fake, there wasn't anybody over there almost, Jay.
And he kept the shoulder straight forward running through that tackle attempt.
I think Dante Barnes was the only person that had a shot at him over there, and Dante was not in a good spot to make that tackle.
Well, right now, if you're Cooper, you'd like to just march this ball right down the field. Maybe score again, maybe not, but just really take away any chance Armstrong has to come back. Borden takes this handoff here and brought down after a short gain there, as wrapped up first for the Falcons by Francis.
And you know what? It might be the kind of thing, if they stop them on this one, if you're Armstrong, you might want to have to start using your timeouts here, Jay.
2nd down and 9 for the Hawks. 5:15 to go. Cooper leading 35-20, trying to continue their mastery over Armstrong in this Robbinsdale football matchup. They've won the last 3 years. McMillan giving it to Borden. Borden takes a hit and then is driven backward. Shepard had him down low, and then the big guy Lopez coming in to lower the boom at the end.
Usually, what you're trying to do here, Jay, is you get the back hung up, and then the second and third guy come in trying to strip, especially at this point in the game. Strip the ball.
Armstrong electing not to use a timeout in that spot here, so we'll keep on ticking. 3rd down and 9, another big 3rd down play. Cooper's found a way to make a couple of big 3rd downs, peppered throughout the game.
Yes, they have.
Oh, and even 4th downs. McMillan looking to his left, floating it out for Borden. Borden makes the first man miss, steps through a tackle. He'll be way short of the 1st down, though. And Armstrong gets the stop, and I think they're going to use a timeout now, and they do.
And we'll see if it's 4-down territory for Cooper here to really kind of further ice this game, and be an interesting call coming up here, Jay.
Boy, I think you got to punt it here, though, huh? They're at their 45-yard line. And they've only got about a long 2 to go, though. So, it's not out of the question, that's for sure. Especially when you say, is our punting game really top-notch either?
Exactly. That's a little bit of a gutsy call to go for it here, but I believe for sure it's going to take care of their timeouts and again, might be the ball game.
Cooper trying, I think, their best to not show their hand right away to Armstrong here in terms of personnel who's out there. Looks like Amusu is going to drop back into punt formation. And Stoker waiting back deep for Armstrong here.
See if they have the punt block on here, Jay.
Amusu will drill a low liner. Stoker watching it bounce and will take it on the 23. A flag is down on the play. And almost certainly, and there's another penalty flag at the end. The first one was on Armstrong. I think the second one might be a late hit.
I believe so.
You got a double dose there through the flag, and then had to use his hat for the second one he saw.
The one against Armstrong came almost immediately.
Right away, yeah. Just as the punt was being caught. And the second was, I think, was following through a little too late out of bounds on the tackle.
Right. I think the second one might have been close to a horse collar or in the area of that.
Making sure now if these are going to be offsetting, but perhaps the possibility of the penalty on Cooper being after a dead ball situation might change if they just plain old offset. Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I saw the indication toward a horse collar there.
Did you? Okay.
The referee was, conferring and making sure that that's what they had seen. And a call Jack Negan over, and then presumably go explain it to Willie Howard on the other side as well.
Right. Well, when it's all said and done, I think Armstrong definitely has to abandon their ground game, and being down 2 scores here, they're going to have to definitely put it up.
It is a horse collar tackle against Cooper. Penalty is declined. How would it be declined? And the holding call against Armstrong. The holding call comes right away, right to the left. We may not actually see it. You see the flag's already gone. And then at the end, at the horse collar tackle there. I'm more than confused. But
yeah, I'm a little puzzled by this too. Especially the fact that Armstrong declined.
I can't imagine how. Looks like the holding penalty is the only thing that held up, and I'm not sure why. There is Breitbach running it here, and he is knocked out of bounds after about a 3-yard gainer.
Armstrong has 2 timeouts here, Jay, and about, when they started this, they had about 83 yards to go for the first score.
2nd and 7 here. Breitbach dropping to throw into traffic. Oh, and he's got Everson as the defender missed on the attempt to intercept it. And he will be down to about the 47 of Cooper.
Yeah, the defender took his shot and missed, and could have been a dangerous play.
See, Cooper, though, still flowing to the football. I mean, yeah, it turns into a pretty big gainer, but at least for their sake, they got back and angled him out.
Right, exactly.
Breitbach's going to swing it out now to O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll cutting and just short of the 40. He'll pick up about 7.
Cooper's pass defense right now, Jay, is in what we call quarters coverage. They got 4 across. Each guy's responsible for 1/4 of the field deep. Don't let anybody get behind you.
Going to go to O'Driscoll on the ground and working his way to the sideline, and he does get to the sideline. He'll have the first down at the 35. Get him about 6.
Ball's at the 35, huh, Jay? Let's see, 3:09. Two-by-two formation for Armstrong here.
Breitbach, good time, steps up over the middle and just out of the reach there, going for Barrett.
Yeah.
Had a step, just missed.
He definitely did. He definitely did on the post.
So 2nd down and 10 now for Armstrong. They're not quite out of it yet. 35-20 Cooper.
Nope, they're still fighting. Don't forget about down the distance here now.
Breitbach in trouble, and he is wrapped up and dropped.
You know what?
I don't think he got out either, did he?
I don't think he did, Jay. I don't think he did. I think he got down right at the end. He was so close, and then got down right at the boundary stripe.
There's a spot where Breitbach probably want to think about throwing that ball away.
Right.
So the time continues to wind here. 3rd and 12 now for Armstrong. Breitbach, rush coming. Throws on the run, and he has Barrett, and he is knocked out right near the sticks.
I think he had it on the catch, Jay, and then he got bounced back a bit. I think he had the first down, and then on the tackle kind of got bounced back. Oop. So we got 4th and short.
See if they'll go to a Driscoll. Now we're going to have a timeout taken before the play, I believe, here. Requested by Cooper.
Right. Obviously, their DC didn't like what he saw formation-wise, and probably a good timeout.
Good football game here this evening. Cooper leading at 35-20. Armstrong on the march, but a big 4th down play coming up here for the Falcons.
You got to like the way both teams have fought here, Jay, huh? And obviously in the second half, it's gone a little bit more Cooper's way, but certainly no quit in Armstrong. Wouldn't expect that, but boy, like, as you said, just a really fine high school football game.
Well, and Coach Negan said that at halftime. He thought like early on there might have been some nerves, but he felt his guys settled in, were just kind of playing football and not playing scared or anything like that. And but you got to give Cooper a lot of credit. I mean, every time it's felt like Armstrong was kind of right back in it or on the doorstep, Cooper seems to have responded with a play.
Yes, they have.
Breitbach will keep it. He gets the first down. Getting to the outside, too, and out of bounds, and he's blasted over there on the sideline by Smith Shannon.
Made some nice nifty cuts over there, Breitbach did. And importantly, got out of bounds. Stopped the clock again.
And I think he realized that he had the first down, and now I'm going to try and get to the sideline, too.
Exactly.
Even though the clock stops on a first down, but this way it stops and stays stopped. Breitbach looking, and he's got a man. There's a touchdown for Bowman.
Bowman with the touchdown catch from
And Armstrong fighting back into this one. Bowman, who's been battling an injury, is really their biggest playmaker offensively, and he's able to get free. Boy, did he ever get free here. He had 3 yards on the defender there.
Jay, he was open almost right from the jump. They were trips to that side, and he had that corner or DB almost right away. And Breitbach saw him, and there we go.
And the 2-point try here coming up for the Falcons. Looking left, now he steps up and he's going to be wrapped up. He throws it away late, but either way it's not going to be a conversion there for the Falcons. So Cooper coming up with a stop on the 2-point play makes it 35-26, and that's huge. The lead is 9 now. It's still a 2-score game.
It's a 2-score game. That was really big. And again, coming back to what you said earlier about special teams and the kicking game, you know, and obviously Cooper knows that Armstrong doesn't have someone who's going to kick extra points, and makes it hard, makes it tough.
So a nice touchdown drive for Armstrong, but it might be too little too late, in large part because of that stop on the 2-point try. I mean, that very much changes the complexion of these last 2 minutes.
It sure does. I think we'll see hands team though from Cooper, and we'll see what kind of a bouncing kick we can get from the Armstrong kicker, and that's that's Danny Bias.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yes.
So you put in all your sure-handed fellows, which Cooper has 9 or 10 guys close to 10 yards away from the ball.
And Armstrong
And Nas is deep, I believe.
Yeah,
One
I
guy
don't
deep.
think he'll kick it to him. But, well, we'll see. Sometimes you know, well, depending on what your kicker is capable of too, you know, that little kick that's over that front wave might be almost more dangerous.
Right.
In terms of being able to get back and recover it, but.
We're kicking from the hash that's closest to the Cooper bench, so obviously you would assume the kick's going to go that way, but you can't really assume anything.
Chunks it in the air, and it did not go 10 yards,
it
and it goes out of bounds.
No, it did not.
So Armstrong not quite able to execute the onside kick.
Sometimes I think what happens on that one, Jay, you know, you're trying so hard to, you know, to get that 2 bounce kick and free somebody on the boundary that, you know, you might end up, and I don't know if this happened, but you might take your eye off of it right at the very end, and you just kind of scuff it.
So they'll have it at Armstrong's 42. As not only a kick out of bounds, but a short kick that was very short anyway. So that one severely wounded Armstrong's chances of trying to come back in this one. Hand off to Borden, and he'll be stacked up a little bit shy of the line of scrimmage. And Armstrong is going to use the timeout. I doubt you'll see Cooper get too fancy here. I mean, it's either going to be Borden or McMillan handling the ball, you would sure expect.
Right, I would think so. I would think so. And, you know, on the Armstrong side, why not? Why not use them? You can't take them with you, and the kids have fought hard, and again, give them every opportunity.
Yeah, it isn't out of the question to see you know, a bad snap or a fumble or something along those lines. So you got to play it out and try and use every second you can here late.
And if Cooper would happen to, you know, put the ball up, incomplete pass, there's another timeout right there.
Yeah, they've used a lot of little, you know, slip screens are out to the flat too, but would they risk that here? They don't need to. Borden breaking free, and he is going to go for the touchdown. Well, all that strategy goes out the window right there as he rips off a 42-yard run for the touchdown to seal it up here for Cooper.
Yeah.
41-26.
Touchdown number 3 on the night for Borden. Comes with exactly 2 minutes to play, so only 15 seconds after the Armstrong touchdown. Borden takes it the distance.
And as you said earlier, Jay, we talked a fair amount about Armstrong's O-line. Well, you just saw Cooper has a pretty good O-line of their own, and they really asserted themselves there to put the game away.
Extra point attempt is up and good. And certainly, too, I think Armstrong, there's a, you know, you're selling out to try and get a stop in the backfield there, and all of a sudden you maybe leave a little bit bigger of a gap than you'd like. And
right.
Borden knows what to do with that, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. He definitely went north-south and for the clincher.
So the fans across the way are going to celebrate another win over their district rivals here. And it's always fun, too, when you got an away game that only takes you about 5 minutes to get to. You know, that never hurts. You think of the, you know, the Osseo Maple Grove is about as close, and these two obviously not very far apart.
Right. Not a long bus ride.
So 2 minutes to play, and Cooper, it's really maybe the first time that you feel like, okay, this one's now salted away here. This kick might go out of bounds the other way.
Yes, it does.
So Armstrong will get the football back.
No, you're right. I think it's the first time since we began, Jay, that maybe Cooper gives a little sigh of relief.
Hawks will be back at home for the next 2 games. They got Richfield next Friday and then North St. Paul the week after that. A couple of presumably very winnable games for them. And then for Armstrong, they've got the flip side. They go on the road twice in a row, as they'll be at Jefferson next week and then at Coon Rapids the week after that.
Armstrong with trips to the near side here.
Breitbach looking the other way, and he throws to Everson. He stayed in bounds, though, as a nice immediate tackle by Pedro Amusu. And that one saved, or cost Armstrong some time as he didn't get out of bounds.
Right.
Breitbach has plenty of time now, throwing left, and he's got Pertala, and that'll be a first down inside the 45 of Cooper.
Pertala's a very nice receiver. Good hands, soft hands. Real dependable receiver for Breitbach.
And he's got that kind of, spark plug frame. Isn't necessarily a guy that you would look at and think that they would throw downfield to, but
he does.
He's a good receiver. Ooh, they weren't on the same page there, and that one nearly picked off as the receiver was running a go there. And instead, the pass came back where he had been.
I think Breitbach, you're right. I think Breitbach thought it was maybe Hitch, and he was running the go.
Keaton had that big interception earlier, and you could see he was saying, oh, I should have had that one or could have had that one, but fell a little bit short. So 2nd down and 10. Breitbach throwing, and incomplete as Barrett colliding with the defender just as the ball was arriving there. Defending it was Jarrell Smith-Shannon, so 3rd and 10.
Well, with the clock stopped, you can go ahead and get the play from the sidelines. Otherwise, I think they're probably just all orchestrated. There's
a little screen here over the middle, and Everson will have the first down and more. Armstrong still giving it a go here as he's down inside the 20.
There's that slip or jailbreak screen like they ran earlier, Jay, and with a lot of success. Just couldn't quite get out of bounds at the end. Nice job by Cooper for keeping him in bounds.
Yeah, so they get the clock stopped for the first down, but then, of course, winds once it's set for play. Here's Breitbach taking it off. Breitbach up the middle, and he's going to go in for the touchdown.
He's got it.
Boy, just when we said this one's all over, they're still fighting. And
there's still life in Armstrong. Very much so.
Of course, they need 2 two-point conversions, but and Cooper, I'm thinking right there, they're not going to be thrilled with the way that Red Sea parted it there. As
check out this formation, Jay.
And they toss it over to Barrett, and he'll get in for the touchdown.
Yeah.
And this is probably one that you discuss with the officials before the game. If you got anything strange that you'll throw at us,
right?
And you might have to tell them about that one.
That's one of Coach Nagin's creative 2-point plays that he was talking about. Really nice block.
Really a snap there from William Chancellor right over to Barrett, and then he just runs it in.
And a great block by Jamison to just wall the guy off.
So 42-34 with 1:06 to go.
You know, I should know better too, Jay. I was involved in that Maple Grove St. Michael Albertville game last year. The miracle finish for Maple Grove, and so you just never know. High school football, we love it.
Armstrong's going to need a little better onside kick than what they were able to get last time. Didn't get enough of the ball.
Yeah, you at least want to give your guys over on that side a chance. There we go.
High bouncer, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
A little too much on that second bounce. Boy, it was a moment of worry there for Cooper, though.
It was
a hard kick to handle, but it goes out of bounds.
Yep. And as I suggested, he did. You know, if the end guy was maybe a tad bit quicker or whatever, then you might have something. Because he gave him a shot. You always want to try to get that second bounce. Let's see what kind of formation Cooper's going to. Well, they're coming out in the gun again.
It's always interesting for teams that run exclusively out of that. Then when you late in the game, you don't really have it in your daily plan to go under center.
Exactly. And that can be problematic for gun teams.
They're waiting to get the ball set for play here. I think there might be a clock situation. I don't think any time should have gone off the clock on that kickoff, and I think that's the issue, is that maybe a little bit did, like a second or two. Yeah, they just put 1 second back on, which is accurate to when the touchdown came. So
right.
Every second counts, so you can see why they have to do it. Here's McMillan handing it off, and Borden, they're trying to rip it free, of course, and he is whistled down after about a 4-yard pickup. Quick timeout taken by Armstrong.
Looks like it was either very similar or the same play where they scored on that north-south run by him earlier, Jay. In this particular case, you just want to milk clock and not that concerned about scoring.
Second down and 7 coming up here for Cooper as they try and put the finishing touches on a win here. It'll be their 5-0 start again. Undefeated last year, and all the research I could find, I'm reasonably certain that last year was their first undefeated regular season that they'd ever had in Cooper history.
Okay. Be interesting to see if they come out in victory formation here, Jay, or if they stay in the gun. You certainly don't want to get too creative here. Well, they're gonna line up in the gun.
Yeah, I almost think that you're in a spot where it's asking a lot of your quarterback and your center to go to the under center when you never do it any other time. So, and this is maybe a little bit of the flaw of always being in the gun, but obviously Cooper's not alone in that.
Right.
So the kneel down loses him about 5 yards rather than being right near the line.
So they have to run, I would think, one more play, huh, Jay?
Yeah, they should be able to be good to go here. Just kneel it down as long as nothing goes awry on this one, because Armstrong cannot stop the clock again.
And the QB watches the back judge here, and he starts his arm. Oh, yeah, he'll call.
Nearly a high snap, and McMillan was ready. He will get the kneel down, and that is going to tick us down to zeros on the clock here. 42-34. Cooper coming up with the victory here, and Joe, boy, a lot of great plays back and forth in this one here, and Cooper, to their credit, as we said, making a big play every time they needed it.
Yes, they sure did. By the way, a nice catch by McMillan on that last snap.
Yeah, you stay ready even on the kneel down kind of plays.
Oh yeah, and just a really good, solid high school football game. And you love what Cooper did in the second half, and love what Cooper did in the second half, and you love the fact that Armstrong never quit.
So a 42-34 victory here for the Falcons, and to move to 5-0. And I think maybe to a certain extent, and possibly even more so for Cooper, they're kind of glad to get this one over with too. I mean, there's all the extra hype with it being a district rival and all that, and you want to have a good game, and they did. They did a lot of good things. They had a few things still to work on in film, but I think it's one that they kind of like to see in the rearview mirror a little bit too, as much as they look forward to playing each other. I think for both coaches too, you kind of get back into a regular week where you're not all worried about the hype anymore and things like that.
Yeah. This game, you hear coaches talk a lot about homecoming and how homecoming can be a little bit distracting, and I can definitely see that with a I was part of the Maple Grove Osseo rivalry for 4 years up there, and it's a very similar situation with the backyard brawl, so to speak, and yeah.
So a great victory here for the Hawks as they end up prevailing by 8 at 42-34. And let's go down the field now with a couple of happy Hawks with Allie.
Yeah, guys, I have Pedro Musu and Trayshawn McMillan here. Pedro, starting this game, it was a quiet first quarter, but then your offense really took off and exploded. Why is this offense so effective?
We work so hard in practice. Our coaches put us in great position, and when we execute, everything goes well. So that's why.
You had a lot going on in this game, from an interception, a couple touchdowns, some huge plays that had really big yard gainage. What was your favorite?
I think the touchdown down here. Quarterback made a great throw and made a great play to go up and get it, and yeah, that was my favorite.
What is it about this team? You guys were undefeated last season. Now you're 5-0 again. What makes this team this year so special?
I think the chemistry. We definitely work very hard. We do what we're told, and I think we never give up. We're a resilient team, so that's what makes us very special this year.
Congrats on a great performance tonight. We'll bring in Trayshawn here. You have such a highly effective offense, and you're quarterbacking this team. What is it like to be the guy who's leading the charge on offense and putting up scores like this every game?
I mean, it's a fun job. I knew it was going to be a hard job to step up to, but it's a fun job. Coming off of Cam, legendary little career, I just knew that he put me in the right place. Like, he worked with me over the summer when I was being his backup quarterback, but it's just like coming into his steps and just making my own path, trying to lead this team back to where we got to go.
This is a crosstown rivalry. You guys come over here. You get the win on an away game. What does a win like this mean for your team?
Well, we knew that we had to come out fast, end off fast. We just knew that it was a big rivalry, and this is our last year playing them. Like, we're not going to see them again, and we didn't want to hear their mouths with them talking self and done, so we just like, we're going to work together. We're going to get this W. We're just going to play hard as a team, as a family.
You guys have not scored under 35 points in any game this season. Tonight, a lot of offense. What was one of your favorite memories throughout tonight's game?
We got a lot of playmakers, so, I mean, all of them was my favorite. So I just knew one of my receivers was going to be open. Every single play that I threw the ball, I just got to get it to them. The ones that I did make, just got to move on to the next play. And we also got a good running back, so he going to rush for as much as he want. As long as my O-line get that push, which we know they are, we're just going to keep going and going until we get to the next level.
You guys are ranked 4th in the state. Some might say that the rest of your schedule throughout the regular season isn't that tough. It's kind of easy. What do you think about that? Where do you see this team going?
We just know that we ain't going to never downgrade nobody. We're just going to keep playing the game that we got to play to go 1-0 every week. So we're just going to take it like that. And next competition, just going to step up, watch film, and do what we got to do.
Congrats on a great performance, Trayshawn.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie, and congratulations to the Hawks. 42-34 victory here, and they stay undefeated. And Joe, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and great job. First outing with us here at CCX, and we'll see you down the line as well here. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Jay, my pleasure. Love high school football, and it was a blast. Thank you.
So Cooper winning at 42-34. And the Hawks stay undefeated as both teams have 3 games left here in the regular season. We hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight from Armstrong High School. For Joe Basil, Allie Arlton, all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Armstrong.